Hello everyone, and welcome to the first ever WaifuRuns charity stream. Today we're going to be doing a Left 4 Dead 2 all achievement speedrun, raising money for NAMI, a mental illness support charity. NAMI is the National Alliance on Mental Illness, the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization dedicated to building better lives for millions of Americans affected by mental illness. NAMI helps by educating, advocating, supporting, listening, and leading in public awareness, support, and care in regards to mental health. And they rely on support from people like us to fund these endeavors. This money helps to fund support lines, groups, and the spread of information for dealing with mental health issues. Together, we can help many people out there to recover from mental illness. I wanted to throw an event supporting mental health because I and many people I have known have suffered from suicidal thoughts and depression. And one of the things that brought me through it was Left 4 Dead 2. Between the community and the speedrun itself, Left 4 Dead 2 has done more for me than I could have ever asked for, so I wanted to give it back. And I just wanted to thank you all for joining me. As for the format for today's events, over 20 runners are going to be collaborating to get all 101 achievements in Left 4 Dead 2 in one sitting and on a brand new account. The account will be passed from one player to the next across nearly 16 hours of gameplay with the goal of achieving all 101 achievements. The achievements themselves are tracked on the profile, but for the stream, when an achievement is unlocked, it will shortly after appear on the screen like this. Only one person can be playing on the account at a time, so the runner who is currently holding the run's account will be highlighted in a green glow like this. As for the rules, we will be attempting to do all of the achievements as legit as possible. Some achievements are bugged and unlock inconsistently. In this instance, we are going to attempt to do them in a way that the game will register the achievement legit, even if it takes much longer than the original method for achieving said achievement. In the effort to stay on schedule and actually complete the run, however, if an achievement is deemed too broken to be completed in its current state, then we will down patch to a previous version and complete it on that version. As this event is raising money for charity, you will need to know how to donate. If you type in the chat room !charity, it will link you to the donation page on NAMI's website. There you can donate through any credit or debit card. Be sure to leave a message, and yes, charitable donations to NAMI are tax deductible. If you do donate during the run, you will be helping to raise money for one of our many incentives. When certain amounts of money are raised, we will be doing special things during the run to create even more chaos and fun. A few examples. Once we raise $1,000, we will be using the Shrek tank mod for the rest of the event. That leads into the last thing I'm going to mention before the event starts. The achievement Mutant Overlord has the player completing 6 mutations, but you can actually just die in the mutation and that will unlock the achievement. This means the fastest way of unlocking this achievement is to jump off the map on dead center 6 times. This seems like a perfect thing to offset with incentives. If we reach the goals on screen before certain points in the marathon, we will do the mutations legit instead of cheesing them. The first two are Jumpman and Rocket Dude at $250 and $500 respectively. That being said, sit back, enjoy the show, and be sure to raise some money for this great cause.
Hello, friends and folks from all over. I am so excited to be here. Hello, my screen name is Covert Muffin, and I am going to be hosting for the first shift here on the stream itself. But I could not be doing this alone, so joining me for this one as well is going to be none other than Skydus. Skydus, how are you doing today, my friend?
You have no idea how excited I am for this. I don't think anyone has ever done this before, and as an avid Left 4 Dead 2 player, I'm just so looking forward to seeing how they figure out how to get all of these achievements, because I can tell you, I myself haven't gotten all of them.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like, we have so much content for you today, like 16 hours of content with the coordination between like over a dozen people just all coming together to try and put this on. And we are here raising money for none other than NAMI, which is just going to be so excellent as we go throughout the day. But NAMI is the National Alliance on Mental Illness, if you are unaware. And they are the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization dedicated to building better lives for the millions of Americans affected by mental illness. NAMI helps by educating, advocating, supporting, listening, and leading in public awareness, support, and care regarding mental health. And they rely on support from people like us to fund these endeavors. This money helps to fund support lines, groups, and the spread of information for dealing with mental illness. And together we can help many people out there to recover from mental illness. And it doesn't even have to be a donation. Like, if you can just get the word out, get your friends to just come and watch the stream, because we are going to be here for over 12 hours to raise money for them. But who knows, like, if you can just spare $1, if you can spare $5, or maybe even more, it's all going to a great cause, and we appreciate the donations as they will be coming in. With that being said, Skytus, can you tell us a little bit about what we are going to be seeing for our first run here as we get the event underway?
Of course, yes. So we are going to start out with getting the campaign achievements. So we will be starting out with Dead Center, which I think if you've played Left 4 Dead 2 before, you're probably familiar with it. It's the one that starts in the hotel. All of 5 original campaigns from the game are gonna be played, all on expert difficulty. So that's the highest difficulty in the game without considering the mutation of realism. Basically, if you play on a higher difficulty, you will take more damage and zombies will take more hits, as well as the zombie AI is vastly improved. So they will just jump on you quicker. They will just have much better reaction time. So this is definitely going to be an interesting display of skill because of the coordination needed to get through this on the highest difficulty as quick as possible.
All right, well, we are going to give the runners a heads up if production could go ahead and do that, as we are going to be getting ready to go underway and kick off this event. I am so excited, especially to chill with sort of what you would expect from a normal playthrough, right? But we are going to be having some speedrun things end up getting worked in. So we are going to be working into that as our runners get underway. And I'm excited to see how each of them are going to be able to fare in this first segment. And here we go. We see our runners on the screen. We're going to see Jay-Z in the top left, TRG in the bottom left, Loki in the top right, and Uncultivated in the over. We are going to see none other than Loki, who is indeed on your screen right now in that top right spot. They will be doing the Jumpman, which is going to be a very, very excellent incentive to see them witness. And they will be doing the solo Jumpman on the Parish as a level. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fast paced, and I hope we are able to unlock that and see it happen.
As a quick information for those of you unaware, Jumpman, it will just add a second jump, which doesn't sound particularly crazy, but trust me, you will want to see the kind of alternative routes this opens up. There is some crazy things to be seen.
Yeah, for sure. Just being able to jump a little bit higher, right? It's just, especially in games like this where they have things like fences and things in the way, that whole platforming aspect can absolutely get busted wide open when we have that. But nicely done from our runners, going to be helping up their friend there in order to be able to continue through as we are just going to be gearing and working through this first section.
And I do see we already have a couple of donations. Let's see. So we have $25 from Andrea and Buddy. They say, as someone with multiple illnesses, as well as family and friends, this really means so much. There's not much to add to it. I agree. I am excited for this. This is gonna be great. So we can see our runners making their way through the first map of Dead Center. There's not too much currently going on, as they are playing on the latest version. Many of the skips that you may or may not be familiar with from speedruns have been patched out. But of course, they will have to keep an eye out for everything because, as I mentioned before, they are playing on expert difficulty, so they will take a lot of damage if they end up getting hit.
All right, that is interesting. Also, major thank you to Peter Heyman, who sent in $72.07 AUD. Thank you so much. And with that, we are less than $40 away from hitting Jumpman. And it hasn't even been like mere minutes since we've been started. That is incredible.
Yeah, we just, I was just about to say, didn't we just start? That's crazy, wow.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible. But as we're heading down the elevator, I just love these like fog effects and stuff like this. And then of course just like the hotel completely on fire. It's so good.
You might have seen that they threw a boomabile, it's called over there. It attracts the common infecteds, which helps them because of course they're gonna be not in the way, so they can just get through here a little quicker because they will not just be body blocked by the various common infected. And of course, if you haven't seen any Left 4 Dead 2 yet, it is based on the Source engine, so we do of course have some bunny hopping employed to increase our speed. And that already concludes the first map. That was the first map of the first campaign. They are always separated by these safe rooms. Then you will see a loading screen as we load into the next map, and then the action will just continue.
All right, sounds good. And by the way, once again, if you would like a donation comment read on stream, just make sure that when you type that exclamation donate in the chat and then you go to the respective page and send it in, that you do indeed write that comment down. But here we do see that we have 3 people who are going to be downed and 1 left up. And that is actually done intentionally. Isn't that correct, Skydus?
Yes, correct. That is for the achievement called Three's a Crowd. So Left 4 Dead 2 has a mechanic where if any survivor is actually dead, not just downed, but full on dead, as you can see, they are dead, as indicated by their crossed out health bars in the UI, there is a chance for them to respawn in a closet. So there might be a porta potty or some other small rooms, and the survivor can just respawn there. However, they are not able to control their character. The player, or players, if there's multiple that are still alive, have to open the door to free them, and that will just bring them back through the magic of friendship. So that is what we're going to be doing here. The Three's a Crowd achievement requires you to rescue 3 survivors from a single closet. So of course that means all your teammates have to be dead and you have to rescue all of them in one.
Oh man, yeah, and with the tank showing up, that is just like so tense for me, but TRG is doing an excellent job just working through there, and yeah, indeed we see them continue to work through.
You can see the outline of the survivors in the closet. They're in orange because, as I mentioned before, they are not controlled by the other players yet. However, the problem is that the tank is just deciding to ruin our day a little bit, so we're just gonna have to go for the next opportunity, which is coming up right here, and there you can see it. We have our achievement. Three's a Crowd.
Wow, excellent, nicely done. And what I think one of my favorite aspects of this event as well, Skydus, is that we're passing around an account between our runners. And so, starting with none of the achievements, we are indeed going to be working to unlock every single achievement as we go through for over the next like 15 hours.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be some top tier gameplay. Everybody from all the various specialized Left 4 Dead 2 communities, they're all going to come together and use their expertise to get every achievement on this account as quickly as possible. We have speedrunners getting through the campaigns. Later on we will have some experts at survival mode trying to get our times there really quickly. There's definitely going to be a lot of Left 4 Dead 2 going to be shown.
Yeah, and Skydus, you want to hear something especially exciting?
More exciting than what we already have going?
Yeah, well, we have already raised $382.98, which means we have indeed unlocked the Jumpman incentive. So we are going to be seeing Loki utilize that double jump in the Parish after we get through the full campaign run. Very nicely done. Thank you so much for all the generosity already. And we are going to be taking this so far, but thank you so much for all the donations so far.
That is just awesome. Thanks everybody.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so here we can currently see their objective is to retrieve the cola bottle from the store because the guy that's locked in here just decided, you know what, I want some cola, and can you blame him? So they need to deliver it to him, and in return for that, he will open their path forward. So of course they're trying to optimize this by passing it around as quickly as possible, and there we have it. This is gonna open the path forward, and we are almost through this map again.
Wow, good stuff. That being said, as our runners are going to be continue working through, let's just read off some of those donations. We have an anonymous $10 USD donation that says, "Good cause and good man. Keep doing great things, waifu. Good luck to the runners." Thank you, Anonymous, so much. Also, $61.24 from Scott McKenna that says, "Packing to move apartments again today, but going to be watching as much of the event as possible and know that a WaifuRuns event is always a good time. Here's to supporting a great cause." Well, thank you so much, Scott, and good luck with your moving. Man, moving is so brutal.
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough that I've only had to do it 2 times so far, but I would not recommend it. Not fun.
Yeah, indeed. We also have a 165-cent USD donation from Anonymous that says, "Love Left 4 Dead 2, love speedrunning, and love this event. Thank you to the participants." Indeed, I cannot stress enough, this has just been a major coordination that we've been working on over the weeks in order to bring you a show today. So I can't believe we're already only about a number of minutes in ahead, and we've seen the runners do some incredible things so much. So thank you so much, Anonymous, for that donation, and thank you everybody else who has sent one in.
So for this map, it seems like we did not get lucky. We were hoping to find a grenade launcher, which would allow us to do a few skips to save even more time. However, it seems like the runners did not get lucky on the grenade launcher. However, is that always that bad? It just means that we get to watch more, so I'm not too upset about that.
Yeah, and the grenade launcher is going to be used on the 3rd map, right? If we're able to pick one up.
Yeah, we are already on the 3rd map, actually, yes. This map has quite a few skips. I don't know the exact time saves, but it will cut the map in less than in half, I believe, if we have the grenade launcher. So it's unfortunate, but of course the maps are not so long that this would be a huge downside. So just unfortunate.
That's okay, because you know what that means? That just gives us even more time to enjoy what these runners are doing. And indeed, if we are able to keep those donations coming in, when we hit $500 total raise, we will be able to see Rocket Dude, which is going to be run by Acids at the end of this block, which is a really incredible mutation where the player has unlimited ammo grenade launcher and using things like explosion boosting and stuff to be able to do a lot of incredible things. So I would absolutely love to see that. We're so close. We're only $67 away from being able to hit that. So keep those donations coming in.
Yeah, trust me, you will want to see that. If you're a little confused, if you haven't seen it before, so normally the grenade launcher in Left 4 Dead 2, it just explodes like a grenade, but in this mutation, it will work like a rocket launcher in many other games. You're probably familiar with the term rocket jumping. That's what this is gonna be. So if you think this is fast right now,
don't stop running.
Just wait for Rocket Dude. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, indeed, it would be absolutely incredible to be able to see that. I would love to see it. I'm sure we'll get there. I believe in you, Twitch chat. Let's go. But speaking of Twitch chat, we have $10 from Adam Gent that says, here to support the cause. Also wanted to get the Shrek mod active. And Waifu, I love your content. Keep up the awesome work. Well, thank you so much, Adam, for that donation. That is all going to NAMI, which is an incredible cause. So thank you so much for that generous donation.
All right, weapon.
Oh, damn it.
We also have a $50 anonymous donation that says, never donated to something like this. Best of luck on the run. Hope all goes well. Thank you so much, Anonymous. Well, we're glad to have you here, and I appreciate you stepping up and sending in that donation. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, we are getting close to the end of the third map. It's just gonna be this hallway, going up an escalator and then a short walk. However, as we can see, the survivors already down quite a few resources. They've used up their med kits, and this means if they take any more damage now, healing is not going to be available to them unless they find some more healing items. But as I said, fortunately, we're not very far away from the next safe room, which would already lead us into the final map of the first campaign. And for those of you unaware, if your vision turns into black and white, as you can see here, if you go down again, you will not be downed. You will not be incapacitated. However, you will just be right out dead. The only way to counteract this is using a medkit, or you could die and then have a teammate use a defibrillator on you. So if you go down too many times, you definitely want to pay extra close attention to your health.
Wow, all right. And you mentioned we're heading into the final map now, is that correct? For this
Yes,
first...
we are already in Atrium, which is the finale map of Dead Center. Here, the survivors have to collect gas cans to fill up a car, which they will use to escape. However, of course, we are hunting for some achievements. And there is an achievement called Pole Position. You have to escape the mall before the first tank appears. So, fortunately, we're trying to speedrun anyway, so it's not a big deal, but... Of course, this is just all the more reason to go as fast as we can, so we don't have the tank spawn and get our nice achievement.
It is.
Thanks.
Yeah, indeed. So we're going to see how our runners do, and they are indeed playing on expert. So this is going to be a little bit more difficult than what you would normally imagine if you're playing on a easier difficulty. Isn't that right, Skydus?
Yes, correct. You will be taking more damage, and the enemies will just behave much more aggressively. You do not want to just play sloppily. You definitely need to focus a lot.
All right, for sure. And so we're going to see how our runners are going to be able to handle this. And that being said, we have an $11.85 donation from Gene DeFleur that does not have a comment, but thank you so much for that donation. And that brings us within $56 of being away from closing out that Rocket Dude incentive. So if you want to see Acids show off some incredible rocket jumping with a nice modded playthrough of a certain area, then definitely get those donations in. So here we actually do see that Jay-Z and the others are going to be grabbing these gas canisters and like pulling them down, because after you actually end up filling up and like entering the next phase, it actually can make things a little bit more hectic and chaotic. So just pooling all the gas together in one spot and just going around and getting those canisters now is going to be very useful. But nicely done, nice way to handle that charger as they continue to macro through this level.
Another benefit of pooling those gas cans together, if you have adrenaline active, you actually perform almost, well, not almost every action, but several actions in the game faster, like healing yourself or maybe pouring a gas can. So if you pool together all the gas cans and then use your adrenaline, you will be dumping them significantly faster, which of course saves time, but also you can technically shoot the gas cans and they will light on fire and burn all the adjacent gas cans. So a whiffed shot here would cost them a lot of time. Or would have rather, since of course they did not miss their shots. And this already concludes Dead Center, on expert of course.
Wow, nicely done. Can we get some claps in the Twitch chat for our runners? That was a very, very well done first bit of the run.
So that gives us the pole position achievement, as I mentioned, escaping before a tank spawns, and it already gets us 1/5 through the way through the achievement of beating all the 5 original campaigns on expert difficulty. And we also got the Ghost of Christmas, I believe it was called, which is to help a player that a 2013 free player to survive a campaign. So in 2013, the game was given away totally for free on Steam. And if anybody that had gotten the game through those means plays with you and you help them survive a campaign, you will get this achievement. And fortunately, Jace does actually fulfill this criteria, so he was able to help us get the Ghost of Christmas.
Excellent. All right, and now like that we're heading into the dark carnival,
Sorry,
especially
folks.
like
His
there
colors
aren't
can't
as
do
many
miracles,
skips
but he
that
can't
we're
drive
going to
20
end up
miles
seeing,
of
right?
far
Like we
cars.
saw some idle
I think
warping
we're
in
walking.
the previous one, but like in this one, it's really just going to come down to our runners trying to play incredibly well and execute. Especially in this mission, isn't that right, Skyder?
Yes, especially Highway. Highway is probably the most infamous map from speedrunning because there's not a lot of enemies around, there's not a lot of action in that regard compared to many other maps, and it's mostly just flat ground, which makes the bunny hopping a lot easier. So all of our runners are just gonna try to get through this as quickly as possible with heavy focus on bunny hops, because the infecteds will not be a big distraction on this one.
I think something that's really incredible, if you are unfamiliar with speedrunning in general, especially Left 4 Dead, but bunny hopping is basically jumping on the same frame, so like that same image slice in the video game, that you touch the ground. So if you're able to do this over and over again while moving that mouse around a little bit, that is going to allow our runners to build speed. However, if you miss it by like a 60th of a second, if you're on the ground for a little bit too long, if you press the jump too soon, right, and don't hit that perfect timing press, then you'll actually just touch the ground and land, and then you'll lose all of that speed you build up. So not only is just jumping once perfectly to build a little bit of speed incredibly difficult, but maintaining the chain as well is very, very difficult, especially in a game like this.
Something important to add to that, some of you might be familiar with bunny hopping in other Source games where you will just bind your jump to mouse wheel to spam the inputs and just sort of pray that you will hit it on the right frame. This does not work in this game. The game will not allow you to spam the inputs, so you have to manually time every single jump, which requires some crazy precision. I believe the game runs at a tick rate of 30, so that's 1/30th of a second. That's how accurate your spacebar presses have to be in order to hit a proper bunny hop.
Wow, that's incredible. And we saw some great bunny hop chains from our runners as they were progressing through that initial portion. Here, yeah, like, oh man, even when the ground stops flat, Skydus, it's just so unreal if we see our runners even just get like a few of them off. So nicely done, but like so far so good. They haven't really gotten bogged down. They haven't gotten anyone knocked down yet in this mission. And this mission's like incredibly difficult on expert difficulty, right, Skydus?
Yes, there's definitely gonna be a lot of risk involved with this, especially as we go into the next few maps. We will have some achievements that we will take care of on this one as well, of course, aside from just surviving the campaign. So there are clowns in this campaign. They are a uncommon infected, I believe is the technical term. And what they do is they will attract common infecteds to them. And there's an achievement to honk the nose of 10 clowns, which basically means just to shot them in the face. It will honk their nose, it'll play a funny sound, and common infecteds will be attracted. We will need to do that 10 times. And the clowns are only present in the Dark Carnival campaign, none other. So it has to be done in this one. However, fortunately, you can do this on 1 clown or 10 clowns or however many you would like. It does not have to be different clowns every time.
And hold out there.
Okay.
So we're gonna see them play a little mini game here. We have this shooting range where they have to shoot all the... I don't know the technical term, I guess all the thieves, but don't shoot Mustachio. I believe that's his name. And if you get if you get sufficient score within the time limit, you can see there's a time of 23 seconds on the left. If you get sufficient points, a small cabinet on the left will open and you can get Gnome Chomsky. He doesn't really give you anything. You can just carry him around, kind of like a gas can. You can't shoot while you have him, but guard a gnome. Rescue Gnome Chomsky from the Carnival. And since we need to get every single achievement, this one needs to be taken care of as well. So there we can see him. They got him and they are gonna have to carry him all the way to the finale. You can drop him to shoot a few commons or uncommon infected, whichever one might be bothering you, but you need to bring him with you. They can't just leave him behind. Otherwise they would have to redo the entire campaign, unfortunately.
Oh no, yeah, indeed. But nicely done, getting a little bogged down there by a charger, but very, very nice job from the rest of the team to be able to recover from that. And as they were doing the shooting gallery too, it was like very great to see the three other players to be able to hold off all of the zombies while TRG was able to be able to close that out and unlock Gnomesky. So very nicely done, and they are making quick progress through this next carnival round. Very, very nicely done. And just a really quick $5.10 donation from Anonymous that says, "Good luck on the run, lads." Well, thank you, Anonymous, for that donation. And that brings us just about $46 away from being able to hit that Rocket Dude incentive. So we still have plenty of time on that, but just make sure to keep those donations in. Even if it's just $1, $2, maybe $5. That is all going to NAMI, which is an excellent cause for helping those all around the country and the world be able to handle mental illness. So thank you so much, NAMI, for all the work you do. Thank you to everybody who has donated so far.
As you can see, they reclaimed their gnome after they threw it over the fence. So no, that was not a mistake. Of course, that was on purpose, because the person carrying Mr. Chomsky can't really do much, so they are effectively down the player while carrying the gnome. So they just decide to throw it over the fence, since the map layout just sort of almost leads right back there. So they were able to just more easily get through this, because remember, this is on expert difficulty, so everything hurts quite a bit.
Oh, interesting. So the amount of damage that you end up taking from the zombies itself is increased as well for the difficulties, not just like maybe the number of zombies as well as the health of the enemies? Wow.
I don't know the exact numbers, but I think on easy you take about 1 damage per hit from a common infected. On expert, it's 10. And of course that doesn't only affect the commons, it also affects the special infected as well as the tank. For example, on easy difficulty, a tank might just smack you around and deal, I think, about 30 damage. On expert, a tank might just smack you and you're down. That's it.
Wow, that is incredible. What a great display from our runners so far. It's just so impressive to see them work through these levels succinctly. I absolutely remember when I played this, certainly not on expert difficulty way back when, but when I did play it, I was just going down so much. But they're doing an excellent job covering for each other, as well as continuing to peel through as they come into this this next sort of safety room and finish out the mission, if I am remembering correctly.
Yes, this concludes the second map of Dark Carnival. Dark Carnival, unlike Dead Center, has 5 maps. So on Dead Center we only had 4 maps. The final one is always the finale. On Dark Carnival we actually have 5 maps. So we are now moving into Coaster. And on this one, we will see some more skips again, although this is going to be towards the end of the map. So this map starts out in a relatively narrow corridor, and we're just going to hope that we don't get a tank spawn here, because that's just always going to be very annoying, because you don't have a lot of room to move around him and just hide him around. So we're just going to have to pray for some good luck here.
I believe in the runners. If you're interested in some, actually, in some of the other incentives we have to unlock, of course, at $500, we will be unlocking Acid's Doing the Rocket Dude, which is basically going to be adding in a mutation that causes just reduced fall damage as well as the ability to use a unlimited ammo grenade launcher to be able to just launch yourself all over the place, which is incredible. But also we have the Shrek tank incentive, which I am really excited for, sitting at $1,000 total raised. And so if that gets met, it's not only going to be the Shrek tank for that current campaign, but it's also going to be Shrek tank as a modified skin for the rest of the event. So for the full 16 hours of the event, if we can just hit that $1,000 mark, we will have to be able to witness Shrek just steamrolling all over our players as we go through.
You might have seen that we just got another achievement, Lickety Split. That one requires you to use a sharp melee weapon to cut a smoker's tongue right before he ensnares you. So the smoker will sort of propel his tongue at you and just reel you in. However, if you swing your melee weapon at the exact right time when it hits you, you can cut off his tongue, free yourself from him, and his ability will be on cooldown. I don't know the exact timing, I can just tell you, I failed that so many times. It's not easy. You have less than a fraction of a second time to react to that when the tongue hits you. So
Hey, ammo here.
you wanna hope for the smoker to be very far away so it gives you enough time to react, because the tongue does behave like a projectile. So here we can see the runners are working on setting up the skip. This is the coaster skip. So normally you would activate the coaster, which is very loud, and common infecteds tend to be attracted to noise. But that would just be annoying. So how about we just go climb around and then just take a slightly different route that does not require us to activate the roller coaster.
Wow, and I imagine these rails are as thin as they look. And okay, excellently done. We see Loki now just be able to make it up there. And oh my goodness, Uncultivated is also working to get up there. Yep, and they are up on that railing. Very nicely done. Okay, but every single player has to end up doing the skip. Is that right, Skydus?
Thanks. Here,
Yes, if
hold
they
on a
if they
sec.
want to save the most time, then they would have to do it. I believe you could theoretically do the so-called idle warp, where you use the game's built-in AFK feature to let a bot control your character. However, if the bot decides to just walk off a little bit and get hit a few times by infecteds, remember, this is expert, so getting hit a few times is not really an option. So they have to do this to be extra safe,
Safe house.
because otherwise they are just relying on the bot not doing something stupid. So, however, they did decide to opt for the suicide route. Only one survivor needs to make it to the safe room. The others either have to be in the safe room, or they can be downed or dead to actually, no, they have to be dead. Sorry, they cannot be down to complete the map. Everybody will respawn in the safe room. The only negative consequence they will suffer is that they lost the equipment on those players. However, a safe room always has weapons and medkits, so it's not too big of a deal, honestly. And we
Alright,
are
well,
now gonna
yeah, go
get
on.
into Barnes. This is going to be interesting because we have some more mini games here. We're going to have to prove that we are faster and stronger than Mustachio. So we have to go to the mini games and basically use an adrenaline to buff up our strength to hit the required threshold. You will see that in just a moment.
Shoot the clown. Reload.
Coming around this corner, you will see TRG. He's going to take his melee weapon, and there he's using the adrenaline, and you have to hit this, and there we have it. if you do this without an adrenaline, you will not be swinging hard enough, so you will just not get the achievement. So that's why the runners were on the lookout for some adrenaline earlier. And now we have some infecteds we have to deal with again before we can make progress. Because remember, this is still on expert.
Alright, nicely done so far. They are able to go on. Most of the players are still at or above half health, so very nicely done. And but it's not over yet. This is still going to be pretty scary because as they end up going through and progressing into the mission, there is indeed going to be a tank that is going to be chasing them around as they do have to like try and do the whack-a-mole mini game. So that is going to be pretty spooky as now we see them arriving at the whack-a-mole mini game itself.
You might have seen Loki throw Gnome over a fence. That was of course also on purpose. And we do have our clown achievement. We honked 10 clown noses. And now the players are gonna work to protect TRG while he tries to play whack-a-mole as fast as he can.
Man, I just love this. Man, I just love like so many of these achievements are like these mini games, especially in the Carnival area. It's just so fun to see as the rest of them are like looking around, being like, "Wait, are you really during a zombie apocalypse? You're just like sitting here playing whack-a-mole in a carnival? Like, what is going on?"
I would be upset if this was my apocalypse partner. I will say that much.
I know, right? Okay, there's the tank. We see the tank now making its way, and so throwing that boulder, we're gonna see where the tank goes. Hopefully it's not gonna be going for the whack-a-mole, but oh no, we see Uncultivated get knocked down by the tank, but they're just trying to keep it off while they're doing the whack-a-mole. Okay, there goes the tank, and so now this buys Jay-Z some precious few seconds to be able to try and go back. No, they are going to help up their teammate. I do like this play for safety.
Unfortunately, the timer on the whack-a-mole just ran out, if I saw that correctly, so they're gonna have to start anew. So that tank just cost us a few precious seconds, since we will have to start over on the whack-a-mole after we've taken care of him. Fortunately, however, you can only get one tank per map, so since this tank is now taken care of, we can breathe easy, or at least relatively. There could still be special infects jumping around, but we know for sure we're not gonna get another tank on this map. So now we can get our whack-a-mole high score.
Pipe bombs.
All right, and just a quick reminder, we are here for this event and for like the full 16 hours raising money for NAMI, which stands for the National Alliance on Mental Illness, which is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization dedicated to building better lives for the millions of Americans affected by mental illness. So thank you so much for everybody who's donated so far. We've raised $453.93 so far. So if you would like to support a great cause, please feel free to get those donations in. And that being said, we do have some exciting incentives as well. If we hit $500, we are going to see Acid be able to break out that rocket dude, which is using an infinite ammo grenade launcher to be able to just zoom themselves all over the place. And if we hit $1,000, we will be replacing the tank skin with Shrek for the rest of the event itself, which would be great to see. But thank you so much for those donations so far, and thank you so much for helping support and watch this event.
Alright, we can see our survivors are just trying to make progress through the map normally. There are no further achievements on this map, however, they still have to get Mr. Noam Chomsky through the safe room. However, he's waiting basically at the end of the map because they just threw him over a fence. It's just easier that way, of course. And this is the 4th map, so next one is already gonna be the finale. And we just got another achievement, Acid Reflex, which requires you to kill a spitter before they are able to spit. So that's sort of just down to luck, how the specials behave. It would probably happen eventually, but we already got that out of the way, so that's just some nice progress once again on the achievements. So here we can see another one of these so-called panic events. They had to flip a switch which will slowly open the gate they're trying to get through. Of course, making a ton of noise, attracting a ton of infecteds. So now they're just trying to fight them off until they're allowed to proceed. Fortunately, they have some boomer vials, which, as I've mentioned before, but in case you are not aware, you throw them and the common infects are just going to be attracted there. So you just throw that in a corner and the common infects just decide, okay, that's more interesting than you, go ahead. So now the gate is finally opened and they're able to make the final push to the safe room. That smoker just decided to take out Loki. That was brutal. And there we can see Gnome is just lying on the ground. They're going to have to pick him up and bring him to the safe room. This is not looking too great. But fortunately, remember, only one survivor needs to make it to the safe room, but they do need that Gnome. Otherwise, they would have to redo this.
Just this once, I need some help. Hold up, healing.
Nice. All right. Well done. And so we are indeed going to see TRG be able to make it into that safe room itself, and just gonna have to wait for the rest of the players to end up dying as they are laid down to be able to end the mission. But very nicely done. I mean, that was really scary at the end, especially playing this on expert difficulty, but able to make it through, able to make it to the safe room and secure the Gnome to be able to continue that achievement, right? So like, if they had left the Gnome, then they would not have been able to close out the achievement. And of course, for the event itself, our goal is to be able to close out all of the 100 plus achievements that are in Left 4 Dead 2. So nicely done.
Remember when earlier I said I would not want TRG to be my apocalypse partner? He just left everybody out there to die.
For a garden Gnome.
Although he can make the argument, it was for a good cause, so you know what? I'll let that slide. I'll still play with him.
Yeah, he sacrificed his friends all in the name for charity. So you know what? That's okay. That's all right. But yeah, so here we are on the finale, and there is an achievement, right? The main attraction,
Yes.
which the whole shtick with this mission, which is the finale of the campaign, is that they are going to end up having to go up on a stage and start a very, very loud concert while a bunch of zombies are going to be swarming that stage. And they are actually not going to be allowed to leave that stage, die, or go idle while they're up there in order to be able to close that out. So that is going to be very, very intense. And zombies are going to be coming at all angles, and it's not the easiest vision-wise to be able to like snipe them off consistently all throughout the event. So as our runners are going to be going through, they are going to be looting some nice like ammo and some other gear as well as starting the event itself.
We actually got unlucky on this. So you see the ammo pile. That one can either spawn on the stage or where it did now. And the ammo pile just allows you to refill your weapon indefinitely. You still have to reload, but you effectively have unlimited ammo if you have an ammo pile. They unfortunately got the bad spawn. And since they're not allowed to leave the stage, they are now just working on bringing some weapons over to the stage. So if they deplete one of their weapons, they still have plenty of backup, because the finale is not short. And they have to stay on the stage the entire time.
Oh, all better now.
Once they have their weapons set up, they will begin the concert, make a lot of noise, have some nice music playing, and hopefully somebody will come and rescue them.
Jet battles here.
I believe. So we are going to indeed see how the runners are able to handle that. And that being said, we just got in a $2.78 anonymous donation. Thank you so much for the donation. Every little bit helps, and it's all going to NAMI. So thank you so much, Anonymous, for that donation.
Molotov.
Okay, we ready?
Okay, so our runners are still just sort of getting ready. It looks like they are going to be starting the concert. And yep, there it is. So they just signaled the chopper. There go the stage effects. And the zombies are now going to start pouring in. and they have to be once again staying up on the stage. They're not allowed to die. They're not allowed to idle, and they have to be able to do this for the entire concert portion. So nicely done, good spread. We see a swarm coming in from the left, but Uncultivated is able to take care of that, as Loki is now going to be handling a small pack that is going to be on the right with their allies as the zombies continue to come in.
So from a more technical standpoint, these so-called holdout finales work by alternating between hordes of zombies and tanks. So you start the finale, you have a horde of zombies. Once you clear that out, you get a tank spawn. Once you kill that tank, you get another horde. You get another tank. And I believe that's when the rescue arrives. Of course, zombies will not stop spawning, because where would be the fun in that? But they do have all the reason to kill these zombies as quickly as possible. Because the quicker they take care of the horde, the quicker they can make progress.
Yeah, that is interesting. So, I don't know if you know this, but is it like a consistent amount of zombies per horde like each time, or is it does it vary based on some form of RNG between the waves?
I got the assault.
That I do not know.
Yeah, no worries. I don't know either.
Maybe some experts in chat can help us out.
Okay, well, it looks like the first tank might be here as our runners
Yes,
are...
the first
are
tank is already on the right side of the stage. They're trying to wear him down. This is going to be the most dangerous part, because if the tank gets on stage, they have to scatter and watch out that the tank doesn't just smack them off the stage. Or rather, actually, he will just down them, since this is on expert, but of course, they only have limited healing resources.
Weapons over here.
Yeah, very nicely done. Able to get that first tank down. So just a little bit of a pause before, yep, there we go. Some more stage effect as zombies are now going to start pouring in once again. So they are going to be trying to clear this out as quickly as possible. Definitely sniping them at a range from the start. Nice kill on the charger there, as they are going to continue picking off these waves in order to spawn the next phase of this defense portion of the mission.
Y'all stay close. That's all.
One thing that I don't think I mentioned on expert, the zombies will take more hits to kill. However, a headshot will always deal the same amount of damage and immediately kill any common infected. So that's why most of them are using a sniper rifle. So you can just get those headshots to take care of the common infected quickly.
We are wiping the floor with you.
Alright, so just continuing to do this defense, and something that's very impressive to me is just, once again, being on expert difficulty can be very, very tricky, especially with that bad ammo spawn, but just being able to sort of improvise in the moment to be able to bring those additional weapons up on stage. And so, like, requiring more ammo, right? If the zombies have more health, right, as we see our runners now engaging the next tank, right, it requires more ammo to be able to take down those enemies as well. So very, very nicely done, bringing up those safety weapons just in case they actually end up needing them. Oh no, here comes the tank. It's up on the stage, but very nicely done. They are able to take down that tank very, very quickly. Well played.
And there we have our main attraction achievement. They did not leave the stage, and the helicopter is now arriving. So now all the runners have to do is pick up Noam Chomsky and make the run to the helicopter. So we saw the boomer vial there to keep the comments a little busy. And that will conclude Dark Carnival. And there we have it. Midnight Rider for surviving Dark Carnival, and then we have our Garden Gnome for saving Noam Chomsky.
Heck yeah. Well played. I mean, there was a lot of scary moments in that campaign, especially. I mean, like when 3 of them ended up going down, but TRG was able to come back out and grab the gnome to bring it into the safe room, leading them into the final map, was just a very, very epic moment. So well played from TRG as well as the rest of them. being able to salvage that situation and bring it home and close out the achievements. I don't think we've necessarily seen any one major big struggle yet from our runners. So just very impressive gameplay all around as we now head into our next campaign, which is going to be none other than Swamp Fever.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what we're going to do in Swamp Fever because it's not going to be a lot. We will want to survive Swamp Fever, which is not going to be the main difficulty here, of course. Then we will have to defend ourselves at the crashed airliner in the second map, I believe, without taking damage. So our players will probably try to protect TRG so he will not take any damage. And then we also have to kill 10 swampy modmen in the water. So these are the uncommon infecteds of this campaign.
Nick, what the hell?
In
You
Dark
shot
Carnival,
the
we have the
pilot.
clowns. In this one, we have mudmen. They will just sort of be
That's true. If I had to pick a
running
low point in the fight, they would
like
probably
halfway
stop flying the
crouched,
chopper and attack
and they will
us.
just try to
Anyone
sneak up on
know
you,
where we
especially
are?
in the water. Their color also makes it extra hard to see them, and we will need to kill 10 of them while they're in the water.
All right, that being said, though, we are here raising money for NAMI. And so far, we have raised... Well, hold the phone. All right, well, we had an incentive to get met, which was going to be Rocket Dude. And we just crossed $500. So we are indeed going to see that. I'm so excited. This is just so incredible. Acid is an incredible runner, and they are going to be using a mutation where they are going to be exploding themselves all over the place with an unlimited ammo grenade launcher with those rocket jumps. So thank you so much for those donations, and all your generosity is going towards charity, and we were able to unlock that incentive. Thank you so much.
I love Rocket Dude. I am so looking forward to that. Thank you, everybody.
And that being said, we still have more incentives. We are going to be going for at least the next like 13, 14, 15 hours, just bringing you excellent Left 4 Dead 2 content. And so our next incentive to get met is that $1,000 mark, which will bring us 20% of our overall event goal of a total of $5,000. And oh boy, if we do hit that $1,000, guess what? Our runners and our viewers will have to witness and experience the tank skin being replaced with a modified skin, which will be none other than Shrek. But oh,
Sorry to interrupt you there. That charge was brutal. The charger just decided, I see an opportunity and I'm going to take it. So normally a charger will just, if they pick up a survivor, they will just run into a wall and then keep ground pounding him. However, there was no wall. There was just the infinite abyss of the water there. Well, it's probably not infinite, but
Nick, what the hell? You shot
there
the
is a
pilot.
death trigger. So if a charger manages to charge someone in there, that is just instant death.
True, he was a zombie, but he was also our
So
only
unfortunately,
pilot.
we are going to actually have to redo the first map here. That charger just really decided to ruin this for us, didn't he?
yeah, indeed. But the good news from that is that they are just going to be extending the event overall. So major thanks to that charger for giving us even more excellent Left 4 Dead 2 content.
Maybe we should ask the runner to just accidentally do that again.
Oh, good. Yeah, and it's
All right.
like of all places, right? It's gonna be on this campaign itself, right? Swamp Fever, which doesn't have like as many like incredibly scary portions as Dark Carnival, for instance. But no, of course, like that's like they just lull you into a sense of security, right? Skydus, and then just like take you out.
The amount of bad luck it takes. So you have the holdout event while you wait for the ferry to arrive, and then a charger just decides to spawn, which you don't know which specials are gonna spawn. So you got unlucky that the charger spawned, you got unlucky that he was in the right place at the right time, and then he just decided to take his opportunity. This time around we actually have a tank, so we will have to take care of that first, of course, because tanks are always a big threat, and there's rarely gonna be any occasions where we will try to ignore them.
Yeah, for sure. I think my favorite part is that the charger is probably just watching the stream right now. Or like previously it was like, oh man, I can line this up. I see them on the dock. Like, it's my time now too. But that being said, you are watching this stream right now, we are on Waifu's channel raising money for NAMI, so thank you so much for all those donations so far. If you type !donate in the chat, it will give you a link to bring you to our donation page itself. So definitely do that and get those donations in. They're all going to NAMI, which is an excellent cause in the United States of America. So thank you once again for those donations. But that being said, if you maybe don't have the fiscal means to be able to afford a donation, there's other things you can do to help. Tweet out, post the stream on social media, twitch.tv/waifu. Just get the word out that this event is going on. Share it with your friends. Maybe you have a friend who you played Left 4 Dead 2 with way back when. All of these runners are all coming together for free to be able to put on this event to raise money for charity. So thank you so much to all the runners and the production team working hard behind the scenes. And we are so excited that we are going to be going for the next like 14, 15 hours to show you this great content.
Yes, if you haven't already, get some friends to hang out and just enjoy this madness, honestly.
Yeah.
This is... The runners do have a route planned out. They have their plans to get through all of these achievements, but as you've seen, this game does not joke around. This game will just decide to screw you over and mess with all of your plannings.
Exactly, and so we do have some donations coming in. We have $11 from Brody Manning that says, awesome production. Well, thank you, Brody. Indeed, the production team behind the scenes has done an incredible job. We've been working so hard for the past few weeks leading up to the event to be able to get things together in order to be able to put this on. So thank you so much for that donation, and thank you for the compliment. We also
Awesome
have an
donation.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We also have a $44 donation from Anonymous that says, let's go. Yeah, heck yeah, let's go, dude. Let's go indeed. Thank you so much for that donation. Alright, so we were able successfully to make it to the ferry this time. No other chargers were watching the Twitch channel in that moment to be able to ambush our runners.
Come on, people, let's get with it.
Right, we made it to the other side of the ferry. Of course, we are not in the safe room yet, as you can see. There's still a lot more to this map. Fortunately, there's not going to be another holdout event, but we do have some more distance to clear before we can actually be in safety.
Yeah, I really love just sort of the routing strat of like doing bunny hops, right, to try and build some additional speed to go forward, but using the flat ground, right, so that they have an easier time of being able to nail that 1/30th of a second timing press each time they land on the ground. That they can't buffer, right? They can't buffer. They can't hold down the jump key as they're landing on the ground. They can't use scroll wheel to be able to increase the consistency of the trick overall. So really it is 1/30th of a second timing press each time that they want to try and nail one of these jumps and continue the jump chain going while moving their camera around to build some additional.
One thing that I'm not sure if I mentioned before, so I'll just mention it again, just in case. Once you drop below a certain health threshold, you will be slowed down. So once you're below 40 health, you will start walking more slowly. So extra health through any means, whether it's a medkit, pain pills, or adrenaline, is super important. Or alternatively, you can just B-hop. Because funnily enough, even if you're on 1 health, if you bunny hop well enough, you will be able to even move faster than somebody who's just moving at normal speed. So bunny hopping becomes all the more important since on expert difficulty, the runners will regularly find themselves on low health.
Oh yeah, indeed, that makes sense. Okay, and so we indeed just ended up seeing TRG go down there, but our runners are moving through and they are going to be able to make it to that safe room. So maybe getting a little bit of revenge on TRG when they left them all behind for a garden gnome in the Dark Carnival campaign. But indeed, our runners are able to make it.
So I believe what they were trying to do is get the achievement New Haircut, I believe it's called, which requires the players to kill a witch with only sharp melee weapons without getting anybody incapacitated or killed. So the way witches work is they will just sit on the ground, or on some edge they will also be running around, they will just be sobbing and they will just mind their own business. Unless you stare too long at
Does
them
anyone have
or
any
you move too
bug
close to them,
spray?
you shoot them. Basically, if you mess with them, they will mess with you. They will stand up and they will run at you, and at expert difficulty, one hit and you're just down. So this was unfortunately a failed attempt at that, but we will have some more witches in the campaign ahead of us. So we will eventually get our new haircut achievement.
Indeed. And so if you're just joining us, welcome. It's so great to have you. We are doing a charity event raising money for NAMI, which is a great organization in the US. And that being said, we are going to be doing a lot of Left 4 Dead 2 content all throughout. And if you're wondering why our runners are taking a little bit extra time here or there, it's not just a speed run. We are going to be on a fresh file, getting every single achievement in Left 4 Dead 2. It's not just going to be these 4 runners. Indeed, we have a lot of people collaborating that are going to be taking part all throughout the day. But these are just our first 4 runners that we are showcasing here. And currently, we're just doing a run through on expert through all the campaigns and grabbing all necessary achievements as we go through them. But that being said, thank you so much to everybody who is viewing as well as sharing the event with other people. And for everybody who has sent in a donation so far, we have raised a great amount of money and we are just getting started. So far, $526.96. All of that's going to NAMI, and we have incentives as well. So if we are able to cross $1,000, we will indeed be unlocking the incentive for the Shrek tank. And so, yep, you guessed it. We're going to be replacing that tank skin in every player's game with a Shrek skin. It's so good. If you haven't seen this, it's absolutely hilarious. And so that will end up happening for the rest of the event. So if you are able to support, type !donate within the chat, and that'll give you a link direct to the donation page where you can send in any amount, $1, $2, $5, maybe more if you are in a fiscally comfortable place and you want to help out with a great cause. So thank you so much once again to all the donations that are coming in, as well as supporting and watching the event.
We are actually just about to get to the crashed airliner. So just as a reminder, we will have to defend ourselves here without taking damage, or I believe it just has to be the person that's trying to get the achievement. So we have our crashed plane, we have to open the door to pass through it, which will, of course, in Left 4 Dead 2 fashion, make a ton of noise. And it will, of course, not open instantly. No, it will just make you wait and wait. And they will just have to hold out and avoid getting hit. So they're just trying to clear out any remaining common infecteds. Get ready to set this all up, because they don't want to make a mistake. Otherwise they would have to go back to this map and try to do it again. So they're just gonna take this little bit of extra time to make sure everybody's prepped and ready.
Do you think the slides will activate?
And now they're opening the door.
Okay, and does this, Sky, just a little bit more insight, is this like similar where there's going to be like a wave of a zombie horde and then another tank and then another horde and another tank, or does this have a different formula associated with it?
This does not have any tanks. Unless you get unlucky, you might have a tank right before or right after, but this will just be a horde of common infecteds. And of course, the special infecteds will never stop. But they're trying to defend themselves here. Trying to hold out this horde and, of course, make extra sure that TRG is not going to be taking a hit.
All right, so far so good. Nice coverage around the side door as well as the back. And occasionally just like throwing in that melee hit, right? To just end up pushing that zombie horde back, right? So if they get a big cluster, they may not be able to get a good enough spread to be able to close that out. But, oh, there is a charger, but they were able to take it down. But the zombies are starting to come into the plane, but the runners are doing an excellent job just sort of sustaining themselves as they continue to wait for this event to pass through. But, ooh, no big bile spit there in the middle of the plane.
And there we have it. We've succeeded. TRG has been successfully protected. He did not take any damage. And we can now move on. So the way the pushing works in this game, for those of you unfamiliar, is you can right click to shove in front of you and it will push all the zombies back, which will render them unable to attack for a moment. So if there's a lot of zombies in front of you and you know I'm not going to be able to kill them in time before they reach me, then you will just push them back and that will give you a little more breathing room to take them out.
By getting pounced on or something.
But of course, since this needs to be difficult, Valve decided to implement a cooldown. So if you push too much, you will just have a cooldown. You might see this show up at some point. There will be a circle around the player's crosshair if the shop is currently on cooldown. Something that you will see a lot throughout this and the next campaign, and you have already seen a lot of it, is water. The way water works in this game is it will slow you down, unless, of course, you bunny hop through it or you have adrenaline. The biggest problem with the water, though, is common infecteds are not affected by it, or indeed actually no infecteds are slowed down by water, so this is extra dangerous while you're in the water.
Reloading.
And also, if you get hit by any zombies, you will be slowed down for a short moment. If you're in the water, you will still get slowed down. So as you can see, walking through the water is already not particularly fast. If you get hit by something in the water, you will be even slower. So
oh my
the water
goodness,
sections
guys,
are
I'm
always...
so sorry. I have to just cut in really quick because not only have we met the Shrek incentive, but we have also met the next incentive after that because somebody just dropped a $1,020 donation. Thank you so much. That is incredible.
Really? Hold on a sec.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for that. Wow,
yeah.
we will be seeing some crazy mutations here. So the $1,500 incentive has been met, and we will be seeing, I don't know exactly how it's pronounced, I will just try. Tank!
Yeah, so yeah, the two things we unlocked is that we got the Shrek tank, so now our runners are going to, we're going to inform the runners, and they are going to end up activating a mod, which is now going to switch the skin of the tank with Shrek. And this is going to last for the rest of the event. So for the next like 14, 15 hours, you are indeed going to have to witness the Shrek tank. And then we also ended up getting the tag incentive, which is going to be a mutation that is versus. But all the special infected players are always tags. This incentive is going to happen for the like an 8-player portion that we are going to have later in the event itself, I believe.
So normally in versus mode, you have one team playing the survivors and the other team will take the role of the special infecteds. And occasionally, just like in a normal cooperative playthrough, a tank can spawn. But in versus, a player will of course be taking control of the tank. And this mutation will just get rid of all the boring normal special infecteds. We will just have tanks only for absolute chaos.
Really? Hold on a sec.
Oh man, I cannot wait for that. That is going to be great. And that being said, we still do have more incentives. Even we've already crossed over 20% of the amount that we raised. And I apologize, don't worry. The tracker may have broke on the stream, but we do indeed have a tracker behind the scenes that we are utilizing to see exactly how much has been raised. So currently we're sitting at $1,546.96, which is going to be over 30% of our overall goal for the event of hitting 5,000 total raised for NAMI itself. And we still have many more incentives. So if you would like to continue to contribute to unlock more excellent content and fun modifications, our next one is going to be hit at that $2,000 threshold. So we are just about $450 away from that. And so if we hit 2,000, then we will have the Teletubbies Common Infected, which is going to be a mod that makes all Common Infected into Teletubbies. And not only will it happen for the current campaign that's going on, but yeah, it's going to be that for the rest of the entire event. So the next 14, 15 hours. So we'll have a Shrek skin tank as well as Teletubbies common infected once we hit that 2,000. So good.
Can't think of something that would be scarier than being chased down by Shrek as well as Teletubbies in an apocalypse.
Yeah. Oh my
That's
goodness.
just horrifying.
Waifu, thank you so much for doing this, man. This is so great. And thank you everybody who's watching. Share the stream with your friends. We're here chilling, having fun. We're watching some incredible players of this game show their stuff off, as well as be able to raise money for an incredible cause like NAMI. Oh,
We are
boy.
about to get into the safe room. Of course, once again ending the map, and then we will already be in the finale of Swamp Fever. So, this one went by pretty quickly, or am I just going crazy already?
Yeah, I think the only hiccup was that like one charger on the first map that just like absolutely tackled them into the infinite abyss of the swamp water, right? It's like, who knows how deep that the water in the swamp is, or maybe it's like some dimension into a different alternate reality. Who
As
knows?
long as it's not a reality with Teletubbies and Shrek, I'm okay with that.
Well, it might be if we're able to hit that $2,000 mark. Oh boy. So yeah, if you want to be able to fuel Skytus nightmares, then get those donations in, folks. Good.
Perfect. I wasn't planning on sleeping anyway. Thank you.
Me neither. I'm loving this content so far.
Reloading.
All right, so in the finale itself, they are going to have to do another finale event, right? So it's going to be similar to sort of that stage one where there's going to be multiple waves and like multiple tanks. Is that right, Skytus?
Yes, this is another holdout finale. Fortunately, they don't have to stay in a specific place,
Yeah.
so
yeah.
they can just run around more freely and have more breathing room. But yes, once again, they will have to deal with 2 hordes and 2 tanks alternating before the rescue arrives. And we are about to enter the finale section. So they are going to walk up this small path, and there's a big plantation house, and this is where the finale takes place. Or rather, most of the finale will probably take place in the garden of it.
Reloading.
But of course, first of all, we have to get access to this plantation house. But fortunately, there's just this convenient ladder on the scaffolding, so we'll just let ourselves in. I'm sure nobody will mind.
No, they'll be fine. But that being said, just once again, we are here at this event where we are going to be running a bunch of different things in Left 4 Dead 2 with the goal of starting with a fresh file that is going to be passed around between runners and performers with the goal of unlocking and activating every single achievement. And there are over 100 achievements in Left 4 Dead 2, with some of them having like less than 0.4% across all of players who have picked up this game in Steam. So very, very excited to see our runners go through. And we are here raising money for NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness, which is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization dedicated to building better lives for the millions of Americans affected by mental illness. NAMI helps by educating, advocating, supporting, listening, and leading in public awareness, support, and care regarding mental health. And they rely on support from people like us to fund these endeavors. So if you feel like sending it a donation, it doesn't have to be like a $1,000 bomb like we had recently. It can be as low as like $1, $2, $5. Any amount helps. So definitely get those donations in by typing !donate in the Twitch chat, and that'll give you a link directly to our donation place.
So the survivors are currently spread out just a little bit, or at least so it might seem. They actually picked a very specific corridor that only has 2 ways to access it. So now they're just splitting up, 2 people taking care of one entrance, 2 people taking care of the other entrance, and this way they will just have all the infected funneling in from only 2 ways, which will make this relatively easy to keep them out. However, when the next tank arrives, things will probably be a little different.
Yes, indeed, and I cannot wait to see that. But we do have some donations coming in. We have a $10.20 anonymous donation. Thank you so much for that $10. That is indeed all going to charity, helping out NAMI. Thank you so much. And also a $5 donation from River Rodriguez that says, "This is a very personal cause for me. So to see Waifu have this event, I just had to donate. Good luck on the run." Well, thank you so much, River, for that donation. Really appreciate that.
Sounds like one of them smoker bitches.
Okay, it looks like our runners were able to
That was already the first tank. Yeah,
first tank
sorry.
down. No, exactly. Yeah, great job from our runners so far. Able to also take down a charger as well as some other more special zombies that have those special attacks, right, Skydus?
Yes. So now we're going to be having another horde of zombies, followed by the final tank, and then we will be leaving Swamp Fever and moving on to the next campaign. So the survivors have once again gone back to their old positions, splitting up into teams of 2, just guarding the entrances, and they will just be waiting out the horde like this.
Hold up, gonna heal. Okay.
All right, excellent. So our runners are just continuing to just like chill and hang out as they are going to be clearing out these zombies, kind of just waiting for that second tank to show up, and then and the tank will show up after they kill a certain number of zombies, in particular the ones that will be spawned from like a horde wave, because like of course always there are going to be these common zombies that are going to be filtering in as they continue to come in. But then it's specifically that horde group that they have to actually end up killing off in order to spawn that tank. And then the tank is going to spawn, come in, say hi, hang out with our friends, and then attempt to basically give them high fives, which on expert difficulty can be very, very scary, which is the difficulty that our runners are playing on, as we do see that tank starting to come in now.
So they immediately set the tank on fire, so his health will slowly be ticking down, on top of the additional damage they will be applying by shooting him, of course. So this tank is probably not going to last particularly long. Oh, he was just trying to corner DRG, however, he just decided to go somewhere else.
It's all Rocky wanted to pick down.
And we just have another achievement. Septic Tank, which requires you to throw a boomer bile onto a tank. So that's another one taken off the list.
Yeah, nicely done. Good defense from Loki as well, being able to take out that smoker there as they are continuing to progress on through. And there it is, the tank has indeed fallen down. So our runners are going to be able to progress now.
And the rescue has arrived, blowing open the door. I mean, I think that would be a little risky, but no, apparently everybody's fine, even though they were standing right behind that door. And we have our rescue boat. So this concludes Swamp Fever, and we will be moving on to the fourth campaign, Hard Rain. And as you might be able to guess from the name, there will be a lot of water. So let's just hope that our runners don't get slowed down too much by that.
Indeed. And that being said, we are here raising money for NAMI. We are sitting at $1,571.96. Thank you so much for all those donations coming in. And we do have incentives for the event. So if we are able indeed to cross that 2,000 as we see our runners now activating the Shrek tank, I'm so excited for this. Which is an incentive that we hit recently. So that is going to cause all the tank skins now to be replaced with none other than Shrek. But if we hit 2,000, not only are the tank skins going to be replaced by mods that our runners are using, but it will be indeed the common infected. Every single one will be replaced with a Teletubby skin. So if we hit 2,000, we will indeed unlock that. So thank you so much for those donations. And if you would like to see the stuff of nightmares, keep them coming in.
Speaking of which, we have another donation coming in from Florian Gerkensmeyer, I believe it is pronounced. My grandma always said to me, this guy is a pigeon. No one knows why, but here we are.
Good.
I don't know what I'm supposed to respond to that, but thank you.
Indeed. So our runners are just trying to get into the next game as they continue to get set up. And so once we get in there, we will be coming into Hard Rain. And Hard Rain is a place with a lot of water. Isn't that right, Skydus?
A lot might even be an understatement. Alright, it looks like we have some technical issues. So I am just going to use that time to give everybody a quick rundown of Hard Rain. This campaign is a little unique because you actually run through the same maps multiple times, or almost the same maps. So you will be running forward through the map, getting some fuel, and then you will be running back through those same maps, but there will be a lot of water added by then because it's raining, as the name implies. So the first half of the campaign is going to be relatively easy because we are just going to be walking through those normal neighborhoods. And then as we try to make our way back, we will additionally be slowed down by water. And here we will also be trying to get our new haircut achievement, killing a witch with only sharp melee weapons. Because on Hard Rain, there's some guaranteed witch spawns, and there's actually quite a lot. So hopefully we will be getting this one.
All right, it looks like our runners are loading in now to the Hard Rain itself. And so there's also going to be some other things that we're going to be looking to doing, right? Picking up adrenaline and utilizing that to actually end up counteracting the effects of water. So our runners are always going to be on the constant lookout to be able to track down adrenaline, in particular to be able to keep maintaining that speed. Because going through fast means, right, the shorter the duration of the mission itself, right, the less zombies, the less special enemies that will end up coming up and, like, potentially posing our runners difficulties, right? Because we are playing on expert difficulty, so things are slapping for harder, right? And so the longer our players are on the map, the more chances they give the enemy NPCs a chance to ruin their day. So absolutely looking for adrenaline to help with that, as well as just continue to progress through the missions at a nice, even, and steady pace.
This map will also be showing a very confusing trick if you don't know what's going on. So there's a huge skip you can do in co-op where one player, I'm going to try to simplify this, but basically, since, as I've mentioned before, you run through the map once and then you run back through the same map, just start and finish are flipped. So you try to kill a player in the starting save room, finish the map, and then once the next one starts, through some messing around, you will be reviving the player in the finishing save room, which was the starting save room of the previous map. And we do have our defibrillator in the ambulance, so that is perfect. So the third map will be going by very quickly, and if you don't understand what's going on, don't worry, it is very complicated.
All right. Well, something that isn't complicated is that we are here raising money for an incredible cause. So for the next 14 hours, 15 hours, we are going to be indeed streaming this excellent Left 4 Dead 2 content, raising money for NAMI, which is just a fantastic cause. They do so much around the United States. So thank you so much, NAMI, for everything you do. And thank you to everybody who has donated, including a recent donation that just came in from Cheyenne Warren with $30.60 that says, "Thanks for all the smiles and beautiful runs over the years, waifu. Keep doing the good work, and thanks also to the speedrunners who donated their effort. Indeed, we have so many people who are just donating their time throughout this entire event to be able to run and bring this excellent content to the forefront for you people for free. So thank you so much to all the runners that have showed up and who will be showing up in order to go through.
Yes, remember, this is just the first section of this entire stream. This is just going to be the campaigns on expert difficulty, the 5 original ones. We still have all the other achievements related to versus modes, scavenge, the mutations, survival. There's going to be every part of Left 4 Dead 2 shown today. And there we have our Shrek tank.
Oh no.
Thank you everybody who donated for this. I didn't know I needed this, but I did.
Oh man. And if we cross $2,000, we're gonna have to watch all of the general common people be replaced with Teletubbies. Like, are you kidding me? And this is gonna last for the entire event, Skydus. This is so good. Oh boy. Alright, so runners are just continuing to work through, take down more zombies as we are just progressing with the mission through Hard Rain. And once again, just looking for like adrenalines, right? Adrenalines are going to help out throughout. And then especially in water sections, we are going to be utilizing adrenaline to be able to mitigate the effects of the slowdown from the water in order to be able to get through, right? So like the second map in particular, the huge skip, right? And then some even more difficult stuff later on.
Yes, past the third map, we will be walking back through this exact map that you're seeing right now. And this is pretty much all going to be flooded, so we definitely want any adrenaline we can get our hands on. So the runners are making extra sure that they're not missing anything. And there we have another witch. And we got it, we got our new haircut. We managed to kill a witch with only sharp melee weapons and nobody got downed or killed.
Very nicely done. And if you're just joining us here now, we are raising money for NAMI while doing a bunch of stuff in Left 4 Dead 2. And so our runners here in this first segment, they're just going through all of the campaigns on expert difficulty with clearing out some of these achievements, right? And so the goal for the event overall is we have a save file that we are passing around between groups of people as well as runners that started with none of the achievements unlocked, and by the end of the event itself we will have unlocked every single achievement, so all 100 plus achievements that are within Left 4 Dead 2 itself.
Healing. Cover me.
Touchdown.
With that being said, if you would like to donate, all you have to do is type !donate within chat itself, and that'll bring up a nice bot message that will give you a link to our donation page itself. Even if you can only donate $1, $2, maybe $3 or $5, it's all going to a great cause for a charity itself. So thank you so much to everybody who's donated so far and everybody who will throughout the rest of the event.
And with that, we are getting into the next map. So this is going to be very different, as I said, as we are going to be setting up for the huge skip, I believe. So, as you can see, we are going, Uncultivated is going back to the safe room, and he's just going to be waiting here, basically. And eventually he will be revived in the safe room as the map ends. I believe that's the plan.
Alright, so we're going to see how our runners do. Hopefully there isn't going to be a Shrek tank that's going to be sneaking up on Cultivated as they are going to be waiting in that safe room itself. But I'm sure it'll be okay. No meme charger this time. Totally not. Definitely has never happened before in the history of Left 4 Dead. But yeah, we do.
This game would never.
No. What? Left 4 Dead 2? No, never. Nope. Good. Yeah, but yeah, we see the 3 other runners just continue to push forward, right, Skydus?
Yeah, and if you're wondering how are you going to revive if there's only one player in the safe room, we are going to be teleporting a player back once everybody else got to the ending safe room. another player is going to be teleporting back and doing the revive. The way this works is you start the revive as everybody that's alive is in the final safe room, or at least the game believes everybody's in the safe room, and when the safe room starts the loading sequence, any currently performed action will be completed. So if you start healing, and then the game switches to the loading screen, once it's done loading, you will be done healing. And we are abusing this small quirk by doing the revive, which will then be completed as the game loads the next map. So everybody, except for Uncultivated, will be at the starting safe room, and Uncultivated will be defibrillated at the final safe room. Thanks to how the map geometry is exactly the same in this current level and the next one. We can see Uncultivated is already getting into position now. He's standing in a very specific spot. This is all required for this setup to skip the entirety of the next map.
You right?
I've been better.
Now you. Damn, they beat your ass good, didn't they? I get you up though. We cool. Boom up. Come on,
So here we can see it.
Hell, I'm sorry.
They are now
Ain't used to all this shooting and
going
running
idle and
around.
abusing
At least-
the warp. And there we have it. We are going to be starting our
Come
defibrillation
on.
process.
You die on me. Come on. Clear.
And hopefully the map is going to be ending. And there we have it. And now once the next map is loaded in, we will just magically have some of our players standing in the final save room of this map.
All right, and so as we're loading in, we are indeed going to see if this ended up working, and we have raised just over $1,600 so far, which is absolutely incredible. But there we go. We see our players just knocking each other down because indeed Uncultivated is there at the end. Very, very well done from our runners as they entered the safe room. Well played.
I do have to say, Uncultivated seems to be a lot faster than everybody else. He was already at the gold safe room, while everybody else was just getting started. What's up with that?
Yeah, did they decide to just like sleep in or something?
Damn. Yes, and I hope you didn't blink, because if you did, you just missed the entirety of the
Anyone
map.
out there?
So now we are going to be back through the aforementioned neighborhoods. However, there was a lot of rain while we did that. We weren't gone for very long, but somehow it's been raining like absolutely crazy, in case you missed it.
Damn, I'm
So
all
as our runner's going out, you can see here, there's quite a lot of water. And we don't like water because it slows us down. So the runners are going to be taking the route over the roofs, so they're not slowed down by the water. But eventually they are going to have to go through some sections with water. Of course, they will always try to use bunny hops to counteract the slowdown of the water. But as mentioned before, that's a tick perfect trick, so 1/30th of a second. And it needs to be manual input. You can't use your scroll wheel.
Yeah, indeed. So if anybody's in here unfamiliar with a general like 3D FPS speedrunning in general, there's oftentimes a mechanic known as bunny hopping. So basically, as our runners are going to be moving around, you may see them jump multiple times in a row. This is to attempt to jump the same moment that they touch the ground. So this game runs in 30 frames per second, I believe. And so that means that in 1/30th of a second, when they touch the ground, they need to press that jump button again. If they successfully do this, then they can actually wiggle their camera around a little bit and be able to build speed. And so in this game in particular, we can't use some other methods that are very common in other sort of like Source and like modified Quake engine games, such as like buffered jump inputs, which is just holding down the jump key to do this automatically for us, or use something like scroll wheel to be able to just scroll the wheel at a specific right in order to be able to more easily hit that timing press. So our runners are manually pressing a single button when they try and land on the ground. And wow, very nicely done. We see Loki doing a great job building up a nice bit of speed to be able to go through the water, because the water is going to be slowing us down whenever we have to walk in it.
And we have another achievement, get skeeted on. You just have to use your shotgun to kill a hunter as he's trying to jump on someone.
That guy bang.
It sounds quite easy, but hitting hunters while they're jumping is quite difficult at times. For anyone that has played the game before, I'm sure you've had those moments where a hunter's jumping at you and you use your shove ability to push him away right before he hits you, and you could swear you had the timing down and he still got you. This is because the model and the hitbox of the hunter are in quite different places. So the hitbox, which is used for the detection whether the hunter got you or not, is quite a bit in front of the actual model, so in front of what you see. So hitting a hunter with a shotgun is not as easy as it might seem.
Alright, interesting stuff. So while our runners continue to chip away at these infected individuals, we are here raising money for NAMI, which is going to be an excellent organization that is known as the National Alliance on Mental Illness, which is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization dedicated to building up better lives for millions of Americans affected by mental illness. So every single dollar that has come in is indeed going to be heading over to charity. So if you would like to contribute to that, all you have to do is type !donate in the chat, and there will be a link that ends up spawning, and it is going to be just click on that and that'll take you to the donation page where you can end up sending in a donation. And it doesn't have to be as high as like $50 or $100. It can be as low as $1, $2, even $5 helps us so much to be able to support NAMI. So thank you so much everybody who has donated so far, and thank you everybody who is watching and enjoying the content that we have going on here on WaifuRuns Twitch channel.
Oh, I hope you all like rain, because we're going to have this hard rain throughout the entirety of the finale, which in case you missed it, we are already on the finale. We are currently waiting for the rescue boat to arrive and pick us up. So once again, another holdout finale. So we are going to be dealing with hordes of zombies alternating with tanks, which we have right there. And thanks to the donation incentive that has already been met, we no longer have tanks, we now have Shreks.
Oh man, this is so good! This is so good! Thank you so much for unlocking this. I cannot believe we are going to be seeing Shrek tanks for the rest of the event, but nice lure there, bringing the tank into the skylight, getting them to fall back down, to just sort of pin it back down again and be able to take it out. Very well played from our runners.
Much better.
So the tank just died, so the runners have a little breathing room. They just used it to heal, can reload their guns, take their positions again, and as you heard the howl, there's the next wave.
Okay, so is this a similar map like we've seen the other sort of survival like finales that are like sort of just defensive and it switches between hordes and tanks? Is that correct?
Yes, this is another one of these so-called holdout finales.
Reloading.
So once again, the quicker they can get everything killed, the quicker they will be allowed to leave.
Alright, indeed. And that being said, this isn't the only content, right? We're just starting off with a group of 4 people that are going to be going through all of the campaigns on expert difficulty, as well as showcasing off 2 really amazing things after they are done with the campaigns. And that being said, we have an incredible event that is going to be going on, right? So here on Waifu's channel, we are doing a charity event raising money for NAMI, where we are going to be starting with a fresh file and unlocking every single achievement in Left 4 Dead 2. So that being said, we are going to have a number of different runners who are all going to be contributing their time and their efforts with different various modes within Left 4 Dead 2. And we are indeed going to be going for at least like probably 12, if not 13, 14, 15 more hours. This is just the very start of the entire event.
And we do have some very interesting donations, if you would like to tell us about those.
Indeed, yeah, we have some great incentives, right? So far, we have unlocked the Shrek skin, which is going to be going on for the entire event, but that is not the most cursed thing we have on the docket. So if we are able to close out $400 more, we will end up unlocking the Teletubbies commons, which, as you may imagine, all of the common infected will be replaced with Teletubby skins. So if you want to see the stuff of nightmares, keep those donos coming in. And let's cross that $2,000 mark for money raised for NAMI. Oh boy.
Rectank isn't the only one. We already have some other great incentives that have already been hit. We will be seeing Loki doing Jumpman on the Parish later on, which we will be getting into right now. This is the Parish, but this will not be Jumpman. So Jumpman is a mutation where you will basically just be able to double jump, which will just open a bunch of alternative routes, and it will certainly be different from a normal playthrough of this. And we already have hit our donation goal for Rocket Dude being run by assets. So he will be using the equivalent of rocket jumping in this to just zoom through the entirety of a campaign.
Yeah, that is so good. I cannot wait to see those. They are absolutely going to be excellent. And so, like, we have the Parish, which is going to be our final campaign for this first segment, which our runners are playing on expert difficulty. And then after this, we will indeed be going into the Jumpman as well as the Grenade Zoomies immediately after. So don't go anywhere, folks. We are going to see some excellent action within this next campaign, as well with those incentives that you have already unlocked for us to witness.
Thank you for that. I am so looking forward to those.
Yeah, me too. It is incredible. Like, if you haven't seen it before, it is definitely something you're not going to want to miss.
Right, so as we're getting into the Parish, we of course have some more achievements we want to check off. Fortunately, this is not too bad. Most of these achievements are going to be happening anyways, since we're trying to just go fast. So we have to complete the finale, so the very last map, in less than 3 minutes, which is convenient because we're trying to go fast anyway. And then we will also have to navigate the cemetery without tripping any car alarms, which you probably don't want to do anyway, because car alarms are loud and zombies are kind of attracted by noise, so I wouldn't advise making a lot of noise. And the other achievement will be for surviving the campaign, which will of course happen pretty much automatically. And that would be our 5th campaign, which will mean that we have done all 5 original campaigns on expert difficulty.
Hey, get in here.
Okay, so we see Jay-Z that just ended up getting bogged down by a charger and then taken down by some special zombies, and they are just going to be hanging out as the zombies end up giving them high fives, but high-fived a little bit too aggressively, so the rest of the runners kind of just went into the safe room and just waited for them to get high-fived to death.
Good thing we will have him right back with us again. Even though we just left him behind, through the magic of the internet, through the magic of Left 4 Dead, we will have Jace just back with us in just a few moments. So just close your eyes and wish him back into existence. And there he is.
Wow, it worked! Thank you, Twitch chat. Appreciate that.
Wait for official instructions.
Great. Also picking up a frying pan. Very important.
You might get hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't seen a lot of food around so far.
This is true, right? Like we can't eat the ammo. Right? Like the piles of ammo are just piles of ammo. It's not like a buffet table, so you have to be ready to cook on the go, right? It's very important.
You could eat them, but I would certainly not advise to do that.
Yep.
That sounds like a very bad idea.
Yeah, general safety warning for you in Twitch chat. Don't eat bullet.
No, definitely don't.
All right.
All right, but here we go. Our runners are continuing on through this little bit of a hedge area as we progress on in. Then some just like straggler infected as they continue to progress in the mission. Oh, another charger. Hello, goodbye.
So we will be getting some more panic events in a few moments, unless of course the special infected or maybe a tank decides to use some of our time. But if we make some more progress, there will be another panic event where the players will have to rush through a almost maze-like looking area of fences to deactivate an alarm. And of course, as long as panic events are going on, you will just keep getting those common infected running at you. So we are just going to be hoping for some very good bunny hops from our players here to make this as quick as possible.
Yeah, I think that's like an incredible notion, like especially around like speedrunning this game in general and like trying to get through on this expert difficulty, right? On expert difficulty, things are dealing more damage, right? And so it's a lot easier to end up getting knocked down when you don't want to, right? So like just doing things like bunny hopping in order to try and build a little bit more speed, right? All of this is to reduce the amount of time you spend on the map. So not only going fast for time's sake, but then also to be able to reduce the amount of time you're on the map, right? The longer you're on the map, the more zombies that you'll have to actually end up working through. The more special zombies that are going to end up spawning and potentially giving you problems, like the chargers and the smokers. It's just really, really incredible to just continue to work through at such a fast pace, because it not only makes the time overall less, but it also makes the maps easier. So I very much appreciate that in a game like Left 4 Dead 2.
Yes, going fast basically double dips in a speedrun. It's faster, which is always the goal, and it's safer. And it's, in case any of you were wondering why they were throwing away their grenades back there, they were attempting to do a skip where one player jumps over another player, the player at the bottom throws a grenade at the feet of the jumping player, and then the grenade speed will basically be added to the jumping player's speed, and he will just jump super high or super far, depending on the angle and grenade you use. So they were trying to skip over these fences. Unfortunately, they did not succeed. The timing is very precise and varies depending on the ping between the players. So unfortunately, we did not see the skip here. They just got to the top of the scaffolding, deactivated the alarm, and now they're waiting for a door to open. And it's already open, and there we go. We can now make our way to the next safe room.
Okay, oh, nice place for a spitter there in that enclosed hallway. So there is going to be a big acid goop, and a number of our players are just kind of stuck there behind because they don't want to end up taking damage if they can actually end up helping it in this section. Because, yeah, indeed, they still have a bit to go, and getting knocked down can be a fatal thing, especially in something like a zombie apocalypse.
That spitter knew. She knew what she was doing. She just decided to slow everybody down for a little bit. And then we have the safe room, and this concludes the park, second map of the parish.
Yeah, and oh, just getting knocked down there at the very end is kind of brutal for Jay-Z, but this is totally fine. They can just end up like clearing out the zombies and picking them up, or just end up waiting just for them to die.
No, yeah. That would be slow. We don't have time for that. This is a speed run. We're terrible people, but we're going fast. So it's okay.
Oh boy. Yeah, because so getting knocked down has like two things for us, right? You can't actually end up ending a mission, right? So if you get 3 people into the safe room and close it, if somebody's knocked down, you have to wait for them to end up dying, right, to the zombies itself. Fortunately, they ended up getting knocked down like pretty close, so you just walk out and end up griefing the player yourselves in order to be able to end the mission a little bit quicker. So nice improvisation from our runners there at the very end of the mission.
Yes, since this is on expert difficulty, there is friendly fire, and quite a lot of it. So they are able to just take out a down player very quickly. If this was on a lower difficulty, if this was on easy mode, then they would have had to pick him back up to get him into the safe room, but this was definitely the faster option, so very good decision making there.
Right. Very well done. And that being said, just a quick reminder, we are here raising money for NAMI. And so we have currently raised $1,602.56 out of an overall event goal of $5,000 raised. So thank you so much for all those generous donations that have come in so far. And if you would like to help contribute, it doesn't have to be as much as $20 or $50 or $100. Right? It can be as small as $5 or maybe even just $2. All you have to do is type !donate in the Twitch chat, and that'll end up giving you a link to our donation page itself, where you can send in the donations to help support NAMI, as we are going to be playing and showcasing a lot of excellent Left 4 Dead 2 content for you at home.
Alright, so the players will be getting into the sewers very soon, another water section. Unfortunately, not every player has adrenaline, so they are going to be slowed down a lot. And following the sewers will be the car section, because this is the map cemetery. Oh, we do have a tank that will cause us to slow down a little bit. But remember, we have to move past all of the cars behind the sewers without triggering any alarms. So the way they work in this game is, if you shoot the car or if you jump onto it, the car alarm will go off, which will not only attract a horde of zombies, which we surely don't want, but it will also invalidate the achievement conditions, so we would have to redo this map. So the players have to take extra caution with where they shoot and where they move.
Right. Also, Loki getting knocked down. Both Loki and Jay-Z are going to be quite low on health, so they are going to have to be extra careful as they go through. But they were able to take down the tank, able to pick their fallen comrade back up, and they are now in and getting through the sewers. Hold on.
And we can see TRG is already in the car parking lot, or well, I guess it's not really car parking lot, but we can see all of these cars. Any car that has the blinking orange, yellowish light. Oh no, we do have a car alarm.
Boy.
This is, oh no.
Oh no. Oh, this is so brutal with 3 players all very, very low on health. If they get hit, yeah, there's one getting knocked out. Oh no, Loki's down.
One hit and they're down. Because even the common infecteds, they deal 10 damage per hit on expert difficulty. So you really have to be extra careful to not take a hit here. And they are also running out of healing items slowly. They don't have a lot left. In fact, they only have the medkit and the adrenaline on uncultivated.
Oh no.
So they don't have much to get the health back up.
It looks like Loki's character also ended up taking a death there, so they are now going to be zooming around as a spoopy ghost as they are going through. But fortunately, they found an ambulance, so hopefully that will have an additional healing item as they go in, as we do see some of our players indeed healing up for that additional safety.
Hold on a second.
So while, of course, Loki being dead is not something you would want, it does have one upside, which is that he now can just free roam the entire map. As you can see, he's just scouting. So first of all, the cemetery has some RNG to it. There's 4 different paths, I believe, you can get. And it looks like they actually got the best one, I believe. So they vary in length, but also he's able to check what items are where. So maybe there's a valuable item to the left. If there's just a small detour, and he can inform the other runners where they should go to find all the most useful items.
Okay, and so as we see Loki indeed going around scouting, trying to find out any useful information for their allies, our runners are making good progress, trying to land in those B-hops in order to be able to move a little bit quicker through these areas. So you see that repetitive jumping motion. It is indeed an intentional thing that the runners are trying to do to build some additional speed. So they're able to hit the ground, the frame, they end up touching it over and over again. They can continue the chain going without slowing down at all. But missing one of those, yep, sets them back down to base walking speed itself. So very well done from our players, though. They were able to get through the cemetery, no problem whatsoever, and they are going to be moving on to the next mission. Okay, but that being said, as we are indeed raising money for charity, we do have some excellent incentives that we have already met, right? So we're going to see some additional content because the Jumpman and Rocket Dude incentives did get met in time. But we also have some really great incentives as well, including the $1,000 donation incentive, which we crossed quite a while ago for the Shrek tank. So if you see a tank looking like Shrek, yep, that's because you ended up raising money, and that is going to persist for the entire event. But don't worry, it still can get more cursed from here. If you would like to see our runners have to play with, as well as you viewers at home have to witness for the next like 15 hours, if we hit $2,000, we will replace all of the common infected with a mod that replaces their skins with the Teletubbies. And that will indeed as well last for the entire event. So if you hit that $2,000 mark, raising money for NAMI, we will indeed see not only Shrek tanks, but Teletubbies, common infected. Oh, I really hope we hit that.
I would love to see the chaos that will ensue. Also,
it's like, as a player too, right? Skype is just like having to play with a mod like that is just so brutal. It's so good.
Trying to not be terrified and actually focusing on going fast with that is probably going to be a little more difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, a small correction, as I've been informed, actually common infecteds deal 20 damage on expert. It's 10 damage from the back.
Wow.
So on every difficulty, you take less damage if you get hit from behind, but it's 20 damage from the front. As you can tell, I regularly play on expert. I totally know how difficult it is.
Yeah, for sure. And so, like, I mean, that is a really scary thing, especially when you don't want to actually end up taking deaths. But it looks like our runners are indeed potentially setting up for a manip here. Everybody's getting knocked down and dying. Uh-oh.
No, I think they decided to go for a reset.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, yeah. Okay. That's valid. Alright, so just once again, just coming into this map, clearing out the infected as they're going through. We do see TRG end up heading ahead of the rest of the runners. So I imagine this could potentially be something important. Oh, okay. So what ended up happening there was they are going to be attempting to go out of bounds with a certain sequence break, and they actually just ended up getting stuck out of bounds, so they just did a quick reset in order to try the mission again. I see.
Yeah, so we can see Jace now moving up to this next wall, and now they will set up another warp, I believe, to bring another player to him, who will then proceed to be pushed back into the original play area, and they will be very close to the safe room if this all works out. But of course, this game does not just accept that, and it decides to throw a tank at us, or should I say a Shrek. So of course we have to take care of this first.
Oh no.
Oh no, this game is not being cooperative.
Wow, that tank was so rude. Shrek, why?
I no longer like Shrek. He's a bully.
Yeah, so Shrek being a bit of a bully there, so our runners are just going to have to reset once again in order to go through and attempt again. There was also like a rude jockey that was just like there that kind of like messed it up and like threw them a bit off, but nice sort of like comeback from our runners. They are going to attempt again. This just sort of like speaks on their experience, right? It's like very easy, especially in like marathon and events like this, to get like really tripped up and thrown off your game if you end up like taking a really unintended death like that. So our runners just being like, no, let's just reset, let's clear our heads, let's go into it again, and then just continue on through as we see Shrek once again just like palling around with our friends.
Get up.
And it doesn't really get much better. This game just doesn't give up. This tank was not particularly nice either.
This here is some bullshit.
So this map is not going particularly well, but of course we're not just going to give it up. We want all of the achievements. So I'm pretty sure our runners have some backup ideas on how to get this done.
Yeah,
So I believe they are
indeed.
setting up for another warp here, as we see TRG trying to make his way to the fence again. And then they will be warping Jace out of bounds again.
Well, we have a very, very relevant donation here. $25 from Jazz Meow that says, Shrek is love, Shrek is life. Thank you so much for that donation, Jazz. That bumped us up another $25, making us just about $370 away from unlocking that Teletubbies Common Infected donation incentive. So keep those donations coming in and let's cross that $2,000 mark.
I hate to be that guy, but it looks more like Shrek is death rather than life.
Well, Shrek's just trying to make like the most of life, right? Like go up and be like, I want to high five people too. Like all these common infected are like high fiving our runners and they're like giving them the time of day. But like, man, I mean, Shrek wants to be able to high five as well. Just Shrek high fives just a little bit too hard. Just a little bit too hard.
That explains a lot. He's probably just misunderstood. He's just trying to give everybody high fives. You know what? I changed my mind. Yeah, Shrek's a nice guy. I like him.
Yeah, I like Shrek. I like Shrek. I'm Team Shrek. And if you are hashtag Team Shrek, or I don't even know what a different hashtag would be. You know what? Hashtag Shrek is life or hashtag Shrek is death. Send those donations in and let's see if we can get some love and really settle this once and for all with Twitch chat. Whether Shrek is life or Shrek is death. Send those donations in.
Right, unfortunately we do have another reset, so we are going to have to try again to get our players out of bounds and then get back in bounds later on to skip probably more than 80% of the map. But of course, you never know what happens with this game. We don't know where the next Shrek is waiting, and we don't know how many high fives he has in stock.
Yeah, it's like, is he gonna high five with his left hand or his right hand? Like we don't know until we actually end up getting there. But I just want to just say that this is incredibly difficult. Like on so many different levels, and this game is indeed like trolling our players. So there both is like an out of bounds segment where they do need to nail some like really, really tight movement, but then also like just so many things can go on, right? Where they just got filed here by a boomer, and so getting knocked down, right, on expert difficulty is incredibly easy to do as we go through this campaign mission.
Yeah, so it looks like they gave up on trying to do that skip and they are now doing the map the way it was intended. However, you just saw there the expert difficulty friendly fire as Uncultivated accidentally shot down Loki as he was just jumping past him. One shotgun blast to the face and you can be pretty much dead already, or at least down depending on your health. So you have to be so careful with where you shoot. So trying to protect your teammates even becomes difficult because there's a common right behind your teammate. Do you shoot the common but also your teammate? Or do you just let your teammate take the hit? You have to be so careful with where you shoot.
Yeah, indeed. Very, very much can be very, very deadly, especially when you are on as low health as Jay-Z, but doing a nice job healing back up, so bringing their health back into the green. And as you were mentioning, like different health values end up giving us different movement speed. So if you're like pretty much capped off in health, you're able to move faster than if you end up getting in lower health. So like even just sustaining some hits from these high damage common zombies, right? On expert difficulty, they end up dealing more damage. Can not only end up causing you to get knocked down, like making the mission a lot harder, but also the slower you move, right? This is something we've brought up a few times now. The slower you move, the more time you have to end up spending on the map, which means more of those special infected that will end up getting spawned in a mission. And then more time for the common zombies to be able to catch up and really ruin your day. So just very, very easy to be able to end up getting tripped up a little bit, and then just that causes the rest of the mission to become even more difficult from there on out. So well done from our players to be able to keep a level head, continue kiting these zombies, continue to be working through these hordes and these special zombies as they crop up, as well as to survive the high fives from the Shrek itself.
Oh, and there you just saw a masterful shot from TRG. As the hunter was jumping onto him, he just pushed him away, but there were so many comments around him that there was just no chance that he stayed up. But that hunter at least had his day ruined by this perfectly timed shot.
Indeed. I think something else that just really crossed my mind, Skydus, is that, like, because they're opting to do the mission sort of the quote-unquote intended way for, like, a normal playthrough, right? However, for a lot of these players, right, the thing that they've done the most is oftentimes the speedrun strat. It's not necessarily the normal route itself, and that can, like, cause for a number of problems, right? Like, not sort of expecting, like, a certain horde to be able to pop out at a certain moment, or be able to go through hallways as succinctly and quickly. So depending on our runner's prep, right, having to do the normal route oftentimes can be a lot more difficult than just doing the thing they practice the most, which is the speedrun strat itself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Not only do you have to do a different route, which you're maybe not as familiar with, you also don't really know maybe as well where are potential item spawns. And the way this game works is the special infected are on a timer. So when you kill a special infected, there is a timer ticking down before another one will spawn. So there's a limited number of slots of special infecteds that can be active at any given time, which will depend on the difficulty, I believe. So if you take a different route, the timing might be different. So if you take your normal speedrun route, you always know, okay, if I go around this corner, that's when the special infected start appearing. But if you have to go for these improvised routes, then all of your timing in your head is going to be thrown off.
Indeed. Okay, so our runners are still a go through, but 3 of them are in the red, just grasping on for dear life as they continue to progress through. And yeah, there, we just see another one of these runners, Loki, getting knocked down, but fortunately 2 of the other teammates were close by, so they're able to bring it up, but there's a charger! They have to be so careful here in order to try and prevent from multiple of their party, but man, a smoker as they were trying to end up pulling up their teammate. Jay-Z is going to get snatched, but no, they were able to make it, 2 of them making it to the safety zone. Our runners have just made it through a mission that was giving them so much grief. So well played from our runners to be able to make it through.
Yeah, that just once again shows you how dangerous this difficulty is. They were all just one short sprint away from the safe room, and they just lost 2 players right there. Fortunately,
Wow.
they will be back, and we are now going to be on the finale of the Parish. This one has another achievement that we will be getting, which is crossing the finale in less than 3 minutes. Of course, as I said, this is very convenient because we're trying to go fast anyway. So this achievement is basically free. So we have to establish communications here with some other survivors through this walkie-talkie. Lower the bridge, which once again, of course, will make some noise and attract some zombies. And then we just try to go across it as fast as possible. And at the end of the bridge, there will be a helicopter picking us up and getting us to safety, at least temporarily.
All right, that being said, here we are raising money for none other than NAMI, which, just as a quick reminder, is the National Alliance on Mental Illness, which is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization dedicated to building better lives for millions of Americans affected by mental illness. So here, if you would like to end up supporting NAMI, all you have to do is type !donate within the chat in order to be able to send in a donation. So that'll give you a link to our donation itself, giving you a nice, convenient, and easy, as well as safe method to be able to send some money to a good cause. But that being said, we also have incentives, right? Even though we're coming to the end of the campaign segment, the event is far from over. We have over 12 hours of remaining content because here what we're doing is having a fresh file that's going to be passed between multiple runners that has none of the achievements. And indeed, today, here live on Waifu's stream, we are going to be unlocking every single achievement in Left 4 Dead 2 itself. So our runners have been putting on a fantastic performance so far, but we are going to have a lot of additional amazing content, right? And not only this, but we do have some incentives in the works that you could end up not only unlocking some additional content, but also some great cosmetics as well. You may have noticed as we see another tank end up spawning that it is modified to have a Shrek skin on it, which is absolutely funny. But we also have an incentive for Teletubbies. So if you hit that $2,000 mark here for this event, for the rest of the event, every single common infected is going to be replaced with a Teletubby skin, right? And so that would just be absolutely amazing. And oh, wow, nice. We do have a donation coming in from RS Killer with $10.20 that says, Teletubbies was my favorite show as a kid. Well, if you would like to pander and nostalgic, keep those donations coming in, as we will have to end up memeing the rest of Twitch chat, the rest of the viewers here for the rest of the event if we cross $2,000.
Alright, we can see our players are already getting into or towards the chopper, so they just decided that they don't need uncultivated because he's clearly just too slow. So they just decided to get rid of him because this is not about friendship apparently, this is about going fast. And that concludes the Parish, and we will have some achievements pop up in just a moment. Since we did finish the Parish, we finished the finale in under 3 minutes. We also survived all of the 5 original campaigns on Expert.
Wow, excellent. Very, very well done as we made through all of those campaigns. Just one more time, if we could get a round of applause for our runners here. Jay-Z in the top left, TRG in the bottom left, Loki was in the top right, and Uncultivated was in the bottom right of the screens. Just major, major thank you to the runners. Excellent job working through the expert difficulty in all of those campaigns in a row. Well played. With that being said,
right.
As Skytus ended up mentioning, we do have some achievements coming on in. We are going to be featuring Acid, who is going to be doing the Rocket Dude, which is going to be using a mutation to be able to turn a grenade launcher to have infinite ammo, allowing us to catapult ourselves all over the place. And so very much looking forward to that. That's going to be coming up first. And then Loki
Hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt you. We actually do have to redo one map on the Parish because we did trip that car alarm. And since we can't just skip over achievements, we gotta get all of them. So our runners are just going to very quickly redo this. Fortunately, they already got their campaigns done on Expert, so as you can see, they're just voting to easy. So they will just be running through here and trying to very quickly get through this map without triggering any alarms this time around.
All right, well played. Great job remembering. I had honestly forgotten myself that achievement ended up not getting ticked off. So very, very well done from our runners to realize that. And cool that they're able to just, drop it to easy difficulty, which is going to give them a much, much easier time with working through the mission.
Yeah, you could have already seen it right there. That tank barely lasted 10 seconds. That's because we're on easy, where tanks have less health, and also the special infecteds have a much less aggressive AI, so... And of course, also, we will be taking a lot less damage here, so this is definitely going to be a lot more relaxed than the expert playthrough of this campaign.
Yeah, this is such a treat, right? Like, just seeing the runners be able to smoothly work through these areas, right? And then they'll just, hip fire, right? Just, turn 90 degrees really quick and just, take out a hunter, and then just continue moving forward at a constant and smooth pace. Just very well played from our runners as we see a charger getting taken down by Jay-Z itself. But most of our runners are now in the sewer system itself, and they are going to continue to progress through and forward into the mission.
Right, so as they're getting up, once again, they have to pay extra close attention to not trip any car alarms. As you can see, any car that has blinking lights, you do not want to mess with that. If any player has a slight slip up, which can easily happen if you're trying to get some infected off of you, then they would have to reset the level again. But it looks like most of our players got through, and there doesn't seem to be any real comments around Jay, so yes, all of our players got through. So now all they have to do is make a run for the safe room, and we will get our achievement.
Nice, excellent. Well played from our runners this time around, being able to work through. And it is very, very easy. Like, those car alarms are incredibly temperamental, so just a slight micro misstep from our runners would have caused them to have to restart the mission. But very well done this time around to be able to go back in with a clear mindset after finishing that entire campaign on expert difficulty, sighing a nice sigh of relief, dropping it back down to easy for a nice smooth sail through this one.
And as a nice added bonus, we once again got the best RNG on the cemetery. As I mentioned before, there's 4 possible paths you can get. If you get the path that opens to the right on the 3rd opening, I guess, this one is the fastest. So thankfully the game was being cooperative this time around. And we do have another achievement unlocked right there, which is the violence in silence. We did get through without tripping any of the car alarms. So I believe now we can get to the aforementioned Jumpman incentive.
Yeah, great job. It sounds like we're going to actually be featuring off Rocket Dude first with
Oh,
Acid.
yeah, sorry, it was Rocket Dude. I'm sorry.
Of course. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we are going to have Acids run through Coldstream all by himself playing Jumpman. Sorry, Rocket Dude. Why do I keep misspeaking? I'm too excited. He will have a grenade launcher with unlimited ammo, and he can aim it just like in many other games at his feet and just with very realistic physics propel himself into the air. Fall damage will not be an issue, because otherwise he would very quickly kill himself. So he will just be shooting the ground and just propelling himself through the entirety of Coldstream at a very high speed. Try not to blink or you will probably miss like a half of a map.
So good. I am so excited for that. I'm also excited to be here today. My screen name is Covert Muffin. I'm hosting this first block with my good friend Skydus, which has been just a ton of fun so far. And that being said, we have an incredible time here because we are raising money for NAMI, which, just as a quick reminder, is the National Alliance on Mental Illness, which is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization dedicated to building better lives for the millions of Americans affected by mental illness. NAMI helps by educating, advocating, supporting, listening, and leading in public awareness, support, and care regarding mental health. And they rely on support from generous people like us to fund these endeavors. This money helps us to fund support lines, groups, and the spread of information for dealing with mental health issues. And together, we can help many people out there to recover from mental illness. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, folks, for everybody who has donated so far. And if you're interested in help supporting this amazing cause, right, you can type !donate in Waifu's Twitch chat, which will bring up a link to a nice, easy, and safe donation station to be able to send it in. It doesn't have to be a large amount. It doesn't have to be $100. It doesn't have to be $200. It can be as low as something like $5. So if you have $5 to spare, definitely consider spending that money for helping people in the U.S. with mental health through NAMI. So thank you so much, NAMI, for all the work you do, and we are proud here for today, for this event, to be raising money for you. And indeed, we have quite a long event. We are not done yet, folks, by any stretch of the imagination. Upcoming, we are going to be doing 2 things that were unlocked from raising money through incentives themselves from the stream, which is going to be starting off with Acids doing Rocket Dude, as well as Loki afterwards going to be doing a Jumpman, which is basically going through a level which is going to be the Parish, while having a double jump unlocked for them to utilize, which is very, very cool. But first, we will be featuring off that Rocket Dude, which I am excited to see. And we have other incentives which still have yet to get met. And these are going to be going on for a large portion of the event itself. The next one is going to be hit at $2,000 total raised, which is just over $330 away from getting met. I'm just so excited for this one, especially because it is cursed, right? So if we hit 2,000, every single runner for the rest of the event, the next 12, 13, 14, 15 hours, is going to have to replace the skin of the common infected in every single map with that of a Teletubby. And if you don't know what the Teletubbies are, just Google it. Just do a Google image search and you will You will see, right? So every single common infected will look like a Teletubby. Oh boy,
Trust
that
me,
would
you will want to see this, definitely.
be. Oh boy, it's so good.
And
Okay, but
also,
that
just as a reminder, we do have to do 6 mutations. That is one of the achievements. However, we found out that you can just jump off the map and die, and that will count as a completion. So that's probably going to be quite fast. However, if we do hit our donation incentives, we will play the mutations the proper way. So if you want more Left 4 Dead 2 and more crazy mutations, then keep those donations coming. It's for a good cause and for some good entertainment.
Heck yeah, and hype indeed, and as it sounds like our next runner is ready. So we are now going to bring Acids on, who is going to be showcasing off none other than Rocket Dude. Skydus, tell me why this is what we're about to see is going to be epic.
Oh, I don't think there's really much more I can say. I think this is one of those things you just have to see.
Yeah.
It's just, I can tell you it's going to be very fast, but you need to see with your own eyes to understand like how fast this is. You thought it was fast before, hitting all those B-hops, getting those adrenalines, and just taking shortcuts. But this is going to be a few notches higher on the crazy scale.
Yeah, so just as a quick sort of prelude, we are doing a mutation which is going to allow our player to have an unlimited ammo grenade launcher and the ability to rocket jump with it. So basically, explosion underneath our feet, and we zoom. All right, so I'm just so incredibly excited to see this because it is going to be pretty intense. And indeed, there we go. We see none other than Acids, who is going to be taking it away and taking us on quite the magical adventure.
Right, and we have our opening cutscene of Coldstream. So just remember, don't blink, you will miss a lot of it. This is going to go by very quickly. And there's also going to be a few mushrooms spread throughout the map. You might have seen the green thingy on the side. Right there, he's going to go for that mushroom. And that one, I believe they restore a small amount of health, but more importantly, they give you auto bunny hop. And as you've seen before, bunny hopping is quite fast. And now we have this rocket jumping, which gives you crazy speed, and you have bunny hopping, which allows you to keep the crazy speed. And
already.
I hope you didn't blink. That concludes the first map. I told you this would be fast.
Wow, incredible. They just landed through that door so precisely. Just like lining all these up is so good, right? Because like boosting off of different parts of the terrain is going to like send you just slightly differently, but Ass is just showing off their stuff. I can't look away. This is incredible.
Yeah, and this is even more difficult than you might think because sure, you have all those mountains that block you, but you also have several invisible clip rushes. So Acids probably spent quite some time figuring out where you can and cannot go, because if you just jump into a clip rush, then you will be just stopped dead in your tracks and you will have to find an alternate route. So this really requires a lot of knowledge. You saw that, he just jumped mid-air.
Yeah.
That was one of those clip rushes. You really gotta know not just what the map looks like, but what it's programmed like. So this really requires some expert knowledge.
Okay, nicely done falling down this staircase there, and then they're just going to go ahead and take down that boomer. And there we go, just ending the second map. Like, we've been barely going for what, like a minute, and they're already 2 maps down in this. This is incredible.
Yeah, this is crazy high speed. So we are not going to have a lot of this, which is unfortunate because this is just such a treat to watch because it is so fast, but by virtue of being so fast, it means that this is also going to be over very quickly. So especially on this map, you would have to walk all those stairs if you were not using the rocket mutation, but we can just skip all of this with a few well-placed rocket jumps, or rather well-aimed, and we are going to be so much faster.
Wow. Yeah, they just bonked their head there on invisible ceiling. Man, that's incredible.
Yeah.
But there it is. Yeah, those invisible brushes, right? Just landing on top of those trees and getting around. Very, very well done, making it to the ending very, very quickly.
It was less than 40 seconds. The map is now over. And we do have some donations as well. We have a $25.50 donation from Wow Such Speedrunning saying, dedicating this to my love, my muse, my inspiration, Coach.
Wow, nice bunny hop chain here down the river. Very well done. Just continue that. Oh no, gets a little tripped up. So close to getting a nice smooth section there.
Right, over there.
Oh, we do have another Shrek, but we do have our auto bunny hop and our ridiculous speed, so we're just not even going to consider a high five from him. And we'll just be on our way. We don't have time for this. We have places to be. And this is another place where you can save so much time. You would have to normally walk all the way around all of this, climb, ascend these stairs, climb the ladder and everything, and nope. We're just going to skip all of that. And apparently we can just land on the helicopter and safely get escorted. Because it's totally safe to stand up there, apparently.
Yeah, following through the propeller blades. Don't worry, he'll walk it off in the morning. We'll be fine. I'll be fine. Good. We do have more donations coming in. Thank you so much for the support. We are just about $300 away from hitting that Teletubby incentive at $2,000, but $10 from Lulu Zephyr contributing towards that says, why do they call it oven when you in the cold food, out hot eat the food? Thank you so much, Lulu. I appreciate the meme. We also have $25.50 from John Siudowski that says, Left 4 Dead 2 also saved me from a dark place. I'm donating this to support a great cause. To everyone who has felt alone or lost, it's okay. Because we're here with you each and every step of the way. Thank you so much, John Siudowski. Really appreciate that message as well as the
lovely.
donation. Yeah, that was
thank
really
you so
nice.
much.
And wow, well played from Acids. Just thank you so much for Acids for being able to step up to the occasion and showcase that off. Very well done. Very nice showcase. And thank you to everybody who donated to be able to make that incentive happen. Really appreciate that. Can we get one more clap for Acids as a round of applause for their great effort here? Clap, clap, clap. Thank you, Acids. You are awesome. You know who else is awesome? You folks there in Twitch chat, because we are here raising money for NAMI, which is going to be an excellent cause in the US of A that is going to be helping out with mental health and mental illness all around in the country as a great support network and organization. Thank you so much, NAMI, for all you do. And thank you, everybody who has donated so far. We have raised just about $1,700, only $1.24 away from being able to cross that. And then if we raise that $2,000 mark, we will be able to unlock that next donation incentive, which is going to be none other than replacing the skins of every single common zombie with a skin of Teletubbies. And that indeed is going to be the last thing for the rest of the event, because we're not done yet. This was literally just the first segment, the first 2 hours of the cast, and we have over 12 hours of content left to go to share with you folks at home. So many runners are stepping up to the plate. So many people are going to be stepping up to the plate and helping behind the scenes to put this on. So major thanks to Waifu for allowing us to use his Twitch channel as he is working hard behind the scenes on the restream as we are here hosting the event.
Yes, thank you very much for this amazing event, Waifu. This is quite a treat to watch. I've seen a lot of Left 4 Dead 2 speedruns, but this just takes the speedrunning concept and sort of flips it on its head. Because usually you just try to go through the maps as fast as possible, but now you all have all of these special conditions, like, oh, there's a tank, I guess I'll just quickly get my achievement for throwing a boomer bile on him. And just all these additional variances, so you might just think, okay, I was planning to do this achievement on the next campaign, but there's an opportunity right now. I guess I'll just take it. So you really have to be able to adapt your playing on the fly. And just as an update, we are currently on 28 of the achievements earned already. But don't worry, that does not mean we are anywhere near getting this done. these were probably the faster achievements. There's a lot more Left 4 Dead 2 waiting for you folks.
Yeah, indeed. And that being said, if you are just joining us here now on Waifu's Twitch channel, we are raising money for NAMI by playing Left 4 Dead 2 on a fresh file that is getting passed around between the runners with 0 achievements having been done beforehand. And now, indeed, we are going to be collecting and activating every single achievement on that file. And folks, there are over 100 achievements in Left 4 Dead 2. So excited to see the current content that we've already been able to experience, as well as the content that is going to be coming up. And in fact, we are just getting ready for the next one, which is going to be none other than the Jumpman, which is going to be showcased off by Loki, who is one of the 4 runners that we ended up seeing work through the initial string of campaigns, which was the first segment of the entire event that we have here for you today. So I am very, very much looking forward to that, as well as afterwards, because after we see that special showcase, we are going to end up moving on to our survival segment for the marathon itself. Okay, good stuff. But that being said, my screen name is Covert Muffin, and I am currently hosting this first block with none other than Skytis as well. And we are just working on just getting set up for our next segment, featuring Loki doing Jumpman.
We do have another donation that just came in from RS Killer. He donates $10.20. He says, if Assets has million number of fans, I am one of them. If Assets has 10 fans, I am one of them. If Assets have only 1 fan, and that is me. If Assets has no fans, that means I am no more on the earth. If word against the Assets, I am against the world. I love #Assets till my last breath. Die hard fan of Assets. Hit like if you think Assets best player and smart in the world. Thank you very much. I do agree with that sentiment. Assets is a great player.
Yeah, just seeing that Rocket Man showcase, I need to see more. I need to see more from Assets. That was just absolutely incredible and such a treat to be able to watch. Very, very well done.
We do have another donation from Burhack. He sends in $25.50 and he just says heart, heart, heart.
Aw,
Out to you too, Burhack.
Thank you, Burhack. Can we get some hearts in the chat for Burhack? Wow, incredible. And that means that we are less than $270 away from being able to hit that Teletubbies incentive. Let's go, chat. I would love to see that. Like, literally, I'm just going to be laughing nonstop when that gets unlocked, right? It's just, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. I can't wait. And if you don't know what that is, once we cross $2,000, we have an incentive for the rest of the event, right? It'll last for the rest of the event, where every single common infected in every single runner screen and game will be modified to instead look like somebody from the Teletubbies. And so we would have to witness that. And the runners are going to have to try and play through that as well.
It's going to be a treat. I really want to see that. Please keep those donations coming.
Yeah, indeed. And so we have like so much exciting content, right? Like, so especially for the survival maps themselves, we're going to be starting off with the hard maps, right? To like get them out of the way first, right? Like just going for the difficulty on those maps initially, and then backing off, right? Taking a step back and then going for the easy maps themselves. And there's a lot. Like, it looks like there's over like a dozen maps in total for the first block, and then just even more in the second one. So that is going to be a lot of exciting content, right? Because indeed, we're not done yet, even though we finished all of the full campaign runs on Expert, right? You mentioned we're like a quarter of the way done with the achievements, but we are definitely not like 1/4 of the way through the content here today yet.
Alright, just as a reminder, coming up next we will have Jumpman. Performed by Loki, he will be running Parish, the last campaign that you saw before Assets took over with this absolutely amazing Rocket Dude run. And he will just be running through this campaign using his newly found double jump ability to find a few skips here or there that you normally wouldn't be able to take.
Yeah, it's incredible, right? Just like thinking about games like this, especially in like FPS games, but then also ones with like platforming elements. It's just like having that extra jump just absolutely makes such a difference, right? It's not going to be as quite as intense as like shooting a grenade launcher underneath your feet, but still like it's surprising, right? It's surprising on how much of the missions end up just like getting cut back and done, right? So like I'm just so excited to see Loki end up working through the Parish, especially once they end up getting started with the segment. It's going to be epic.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a lot faster because the map was, of course, not designed for a double jump. It was never intended for you to jump to such heights. So there's going to be a few ledges that you normally just can't reach, and we are going to be able to.
Yeah, indeed. It is going to be absolutely phenomenal. And that being said, I'm so happy to be here, especially because we just have so many people working behind the scenes as we currently end up getting set up for Loki, who is going to be doing Jumpman through the Parish once again. But like we have Waifu who's working on the restream. So like major shout outs, major thank you to Waifu for allowing us to be here, raising money for NAMI on their Twitch channel itself. And then we also have Skytis, who's here with me, Covert Muffin, as we are going to be hosting for this first block itself. But then also the runners, right? Like the Left 4 Dead 2 community really did come together. And it's been a huge effort, right? We've been coordinating this for weeks and like working on additional behind the scenes resources to like help out with the cast and help out with the overall production value of the performance. It truly is, right? Like all of these overlays, all of these resources were made ahead of time with like the love and care to just try and like simply raise money for a nice cause. So major shout out to everybody behind the scenes who's been working hard for the past month leading up to this event. And thank you folks for watching and supporting the cause. And that being said, even if you cannot donate money, you can still help us out, right? Just simply with your viewership, with your love and your messages in the Twitch chat, building hype for the incentives, right? Just tell a friend, right? Have a friend hang out, like maybe just start a Discord call with them and just like laugh at like all these incredible incentives and funny things, right? The Teletubby skins, I cannot wait to see that once we cross the $2,000 raised total for the event itself, right? And then share it with a friend. Maybe you have somebody who doesn't know about Waifu's incredible content that they do here on their Twitch channel, or that the event is even happening today, right? Share it, just like watch it, hang out, make it a social event with you and your buds, right? Or maybe you have like a speedrunning Discord, right, where you have people who are interested in consuming speedrun content, right? Share it there. Just plug the event, plug the stream, right? Just get the word out on social media to just let them know that we are here raising money for NAMI, which is a phenomenal charitable organization that works incredibly hard year in and year out. And if you would like to send in a donation, all you have to do is type !donate in the chat, and there will be a link posted by a bot, which will just give you a nice, easy, and safe way to send the donations in. Even if it's just $5, even if it's just $2, every little bit helps. So just absolutely just keep those donations coming in.
Yeah, and remember, the Teletubbies are not the only incentives. So if we get to $2,000, we will have our commons replaced by Teletubbies, but there will be more. If we get to 3,000, we will have another mutation that we will not just cheese by jumping off a ledge and somehow having our achievement trigger because the game just decides, oh yeah, you just completed this. No, we will be playing even more different mutations. So if we reach our goals, we will have even more Left 4 Dead 2 being displayed today. So trust me, you will want to see more. Don't let this end. I'm having such a blast.
Yeah, this is awesome. Like, I can't believe we're going for like 3 hours. That is so incredibly amazing, right? Just like, I mean, there's so many achievements. itself is very, very good. And that being said, we are up starting with a map or two for the survival itself. So our runners are and end up getting prepared here. Okay. But don't worry, we still will be doing that Jumpman incentive. We're just going to do a couple of the survival maps to get us kicked off with first, and then we will end up doing the Jumpman incentive afterwards.
Yes, don't worry. We did not forget. We will absolutely get our Jumpman in just a bit. But for now, we are going to be doing some of the survival achievements. So those consist of getting medals on every single one of the official survival maps. So we need to earn a single bronze medal, a single silver medal, and a single gold medal, which is not going to be too hard. However, we also have to survive for 30 minutes, and you will probably see in a few moments that it's not that easy. And also, there's an achievement for getting a bronze medal on every single map. But of course, there's also one for silver and gold. And I believe there's about 43 maps. I hope my number is not off, but there's quite a lot of official maps. So we are going to be seeing a lot of survival mode, trust me. There is going to be quite a few medals to be had.
All right, and seeing indeed, because it sounds like our runners are ready. We are going to be featuring off Jay-Z that we saw from the campaign runs, as they did an excellent job on that expert difficulty in the campaign. So I'm excited to see them back up on stage to perform survival maps. We're also going to be seeing Heap, Lunatic, as well as My Elenated 23. So there we go. It looks like our runners are set up, and we are going to cue them to let them know that they are good to go and get started as they're ready. But we see Heap is going to be in the top left, Lunatic is going to be in the top right, Jay-Z returning back after the campaigns is going to be in the bottom right, and then My Elenated is going to be over in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. GLHF to the runners, and I am excited to see what they do here on the first survival map.
Pills here.
All right, but that being said, we have a donation here. We have a $51 donation from JTB that says, "Thank you to Waifu for using your platform to put on such an incredible charity event. Left 4 Dead is such an impressive game to watch, and I look forward to seeing all the neat content the community is showing off today. Here's to unlocking more runs." Thank you so much, JTB. And indeed, that brings us even closer to the Teletubby Commons incentive, which is going to replace all the common infected with Teletubbies. So if you want to see that happen, we only have about $215 to go to be able to close that out. Okay, but here we are on the first survival map. We see the timer is going to be ticking up now to see how long they can actually end up surviving. And I believe they have to end up surviving for a certain duration before they end up like falling and taking a death. So it's going to be important to be able to sustain themselves with things like ammo, as well as having a good positioning to be able to close off the hordes and infected that are going to be coming in. So that sustain factor is going to be very, very important as they progress through.
Yeah, so the way the survival mode works is you pick your map, you spawn in, and then you can just take all the time you want to pick out your weapons, pick out your utility, whatever you want, and then you hit a button and the timer starts. And the timer will just keep running until your team is down. And we are going to try to get all the medals. So you need 4 minutes to get a bronze medal, 6 minutes of survival for a silver, and 10 minutes for a gold medal. And remember, on one map we need to survive for 30 minutes for the additional achievement. And this works somewhat similar to the holdout finales, because there's alternating, I believe they're alternating. You have your tanks and your hordes, they are going to be spawning in at fixed times. So you always want to take out the tank or the horde, then you have some breathing room to heal if needed, and then get ready for the next one. important to know, your resources are limited. You have an ammo pile that will give you unlimited ammo, so you can just resupply with that as much as you want, but if you use up all of your medkits or all of your throwables, you're out of them. They're not coming back. So you do have to split up your resources to make the most out of them. So you don't want to just throw everything right at the beginning.
Yeah, indeed. I think that's like a really fascinating aspect of like this versus the campaign, right? The campaign is like the missions will maybe only last like a minute or two, and then you just kind of like transition into the next one where you get like extra med kits, you get additional like ammo and like different weapon options. So it's cool that they have the infinite ammo pile in the middle, but like if they like get separated out and get isolated from zombies and like a tank or something like that causes the players to spread around, they need to be additionally careful about that with that sustain factor. So even having something happen like being caught unaware with like a bad time for a reload can just be absolutely devastating in situations like this.
Yeah, but tanks will require some extra caution because it's not like in many speedruns where if you're not playing on expert, you could just run around the tank. No, you have to kill the tank. He will get to you eventually anyway.
Right.
So you just have to take this tank out. So you gotta be careful to coordinate your team, figure out, okay, who's the tank currently running after, and use any tactic you can think of to deal with the tank. So maybe they're just going to be running around this small building in the middle and just keep the tank running in circles until he dies. Or there's also a common tactic where you make the tank climb up a ledge, because the way the AI works in this game is once a zombie starts climbing up any kind of wall, they will finish climbing up all the way. So you try to get the tank to climb up somewhere, shoot him, and then you jump down, the tank will fall down again, and then you make him climb up again and just have him sort of stuck in this infinite loop of climbing up and falling down without attacking you. But that requires some careful planning and setting up, as well as some really good coordination between the runners.
Yeah, I like this rotation that we're seeing out of the players as well. Like we saw just sort of like a few people that are standing up in the middle, and then we have one person that is just kind of out on the field. This allows them to, I imagine, just sort of isolate what the like special infected are going to end up going after, right? So there we saw the smoker with like the tongue come out, but oh no, there's the tank, and just going directly into the middle is going to be causing all of the players to have to spread out. But if all of our players were spread out and most of them weren't in the center, this makes it a lot more difficult to be able to sort of isolate which player is going to end up being targeted next, requiring a even more difficult time of like improvisation. So just really cool little subtle strategies that we're seeing from our players here as they are tackling this incredible survival challenge so far.
Yeah, you always have to strike this very delicate balance. So on the one hand, you don't all want to be in one spot, because if a tank comes by, he can hit multiple survivors in a single hit. So you don't want to be all on the same spot, but if you're too far away and one of you just gets grabbed by a smoker or a jockey, you need to be able to help them. So you gotta keep some distance, but not too much. And I believe we have two tanks coming at us now. Of course, the special infectors are not going to stop. So we just have this incredible action now going on. Okay, they managed to take out the first tank, a charger's just stopping by, and we have another jockey. They're not giving them a break.
Wow, this is so incredible to see, just very expertly done with like isolating the special zombies in particular, right? There was like a smoker that got like a tongue tie on a person with the tank like standing right directly next to them, right? That could have been absolutely fatal for our runners, but just very, very well done with the handling. Nice kill on the smoker from Heeb just now that like just shot its tongue out, but he was able to take it down before getting entangled himself. So just very, very well played.
Yeah, we're almost up to the silver medal threshold already. As you can see in the top, we have a timer, and to the right of it we have the next goal to meet, and the small circle inside the stopwatch just is a visual representation of how close we are. And there we have our first silver medal already, which of course gives us yet another achievement. And if we get another 3 minutes, we have our shiny gold medal.
Wow. All right. And I imagine like these missions must pick up in intensity like the deeper you go into them, right, Skydust?
Yeah, the spawns are getting a little faster, and you're going to be worn down on resources more and more. That's probably the biggest problem. Like at some point, you might have used up all of your medkits. At that point, any damage you take cannot be reversed. So you have to be very careful. Like any hit here will burn through your resources. This is not like the campaigns where you just run through 3, 4, or 5 levels and then you start a new one. You have to last these 10 minutes in one go with the resources that you're given.
All right, we see another tank with Lunatic just like taking the aggression, but gets knocked back, being brought back down to half health. And there, the tank is going to indeed go down. Nicely done from them. And we do indeed see one of those healing kits that is not an unlimited supply being used. But the good news is that they are only 2 minutes away from being able to close out that gold standard. And so far, they are doing so well in the first map, right? And it's like, it's so incredible to me as well as like, this is the first map, right? They have to end up doing this for so many more maps in the future, right? So it's not just going to end up being like an easy challenge where they do like a single level and then not have to like worry about like having the same challenge over and over again. But it's going to be this constant roller coaster ride for them. And just stamina, right? Stamina is going to be really important, not just for like in-game, for like being able to maintain your like health and resources like effectively and efficiently, and not take too much damage early on in the missions, but also for them as players, right? Like having to reset and like go into a new mission and then do it all over again for an extended period of time can just be very, very, very taxing. And it makes it easier to be able to make more and more of those mistakes, right? In speedrunning, we say, oftentimes your first few attempts have the highest probability of being a personal best time when you do a speedrun in a streaming session. Whereas if you end up going for 3, 4, 5 hours in a game, then like it can be very, very easy to just make like mistakes that you would never make otherwise. So this is just definitely going to be a marathon for the runners as they are going to be working through every single survival map within the game.
Yeah, definitely. You always have to stay focused. They do have some leeway since they do have a few resources, but as we mentioned before, those are finite, so you can only allow so many slip-ups. And this is going to be quite a long session of survival maps, so these players really need to stay focused for quite a long while. And there we have the 10-minute mark reached, giving us the gold medal. So we can now see the players are just proceeding to heroically burn the entire place to the ground. Of course, they're just trying to get themselves down very as quickly as they can, using some Molotovs since there is friendly fire. So now the time stops. We have a survival time of 10 minutes, 17 seconds, and we are going to be moving on to the next map.
Oh man, that was great at the end there with the Shrek tank coming into the fire. It's like, this is a true baptism by fire. It's so good. And indeed, we do have more incentives, right? If we're able to cross that $2,000 mark, the most cursed thing in these runs is not going to be the Shrek tank. Instead, we will be replacing every single common infected with a Teletubby skin if we can just cross that final amount of $210. And yep, that's going to be lasting for the rest of the event. But just a like major thank you for all the donations that have come in so far, including this $5 anonymous donation that says, to everyone struggling out there for any number of reasons, I want you to know that you are loved, and there are so many people that would be more than happy to help you any way they can. I promise it gets better. Thank you so much, Anonymous. True words, and just such a kind and thoughtful donation going to NAMI, raising for a good cause.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right, we are getting into our second map, Motel, it takes place on the first map of Dark Carnival. So you might be familiar with many of these locations, either from previously in the run or if you've played the game before. These are just slightly modified versions of the map, since you can't just go to the ending safe room, so they're blocked off. But they're mostly the same, just with the resources scattered around to help you survive just a little longer. And we are going to once again be aiming for those 10 minutes of survival.
Okay, and so we're going to see how our runners do on this one. This is going to start off with the 4 minutes for that first bronze medal itself. And indeed, we do have to make it all the way for gold for that achievement, right? We have to do every single survival map. We have to hit it at gold. And I believe one of them is going to require a 30-minute survival on it as well. And so coming into this one, I believe this is just only like a 10-minute one as our runners start and cross that first 1 minute mark of the 10 minutes they need to survive.
Yeah, and we can see there's already quite a lot of things happening. Like we just saw that Smoker actually managed to grab. However, of course, if you have the coordination like these runners certainly do, you can get yourself out of these kinds of situations. So it seems like we found ourselves a nice place here where the commons seem to be pretty much just coming in from one angle. So this makes it very easy to hold. This is probably going to be the main strategy for most of the survival maps. Just find a spot where you don't have to constantly check behind you and just try to make sure that the horde doesn't actually get through to you.
Yeah, I like this once again. Very, very nice setup. Just a single like pigeonhole for them to come in with like a stretch of a chain link fence. So they are just going to be filtering in through that hole as well as potentially coming down slightly to the right. So as Skydus mentioned, just making sure that none of them get behind the runners is going to be an important thing. But we do see my Elenated being able to post up in that backside right now to be able to just check and make sure that they don't come down from the highway. Okay, and then just moving up, I believe, to maybe potentially look to clear out some specials as well as potentially just restock up on resources as they progress in. Yep, just running up to the ammo pile, which once again does have an infinite amount of refills for the ammo. But you do have to break that like formation, that nice little bunker that they have going on here to be able to walk up to it. And indeed, we saw some damage going on to our heroes here as they moved up for that refill.
Yeah, the refill is definitely going to be the scariest part, because you are, as you mentioned, breaking your formation. So if a special grabs someone here, you don't know exactly where are my teammates. If they're standing in their usual formation in this, they know, okay, he's either behind me or to my left. But if you're trying to go for that refill, then your teammate might just be grabbed from a smoker all the way across the motel, and you just actually have to pay some extra attention to where your teammates actually are. So the refills are definitely going to be the scariest part, aside from the tanks, of course. I mean, who wouldn't be scared of a Shrek tank?
Yeah, it's like Shrek. I get you want a high five, but I don't know if I can. Like I would be honored if Shrek ended up leaving his swamp just to come up and like give me a high five or just like chuck a rock at my head. But like oftentimes like those notions being endearing to begin with are practically maybe not so as much. So whether Shrek is life or Shrek is death is yet to be seen. But there we go, crossing the 4 minute mark. That is going to be the bronze medal. And then another 3 minutes from that is going to bring us to the silver standard. And then another 3 minutes beyond that will bring us home to that 10-minute mark for the gold.
And there we had a charger almost getting there. That was quite close. But he didn't have any backup, fortunately for us. So the most difficult part are definitely going to be when you don't just have a bunch of commons, but maybe even a tank and the specials, because you can't just kill everything at the same time. You have to decide, okay, which enemy is the biggest threat? Where do I focus now? And of course, which ones are my teammates focusing? Because I wouldn't want to be shooting the zombie that's practically already dead. So you really have to be very careful with which angles you're getting attacked from by what.
All right, there we go. They were able to make another ammo run. Very well done. It looks like they didn't have nearly as scary of a time as the last time when they had to go in order to get a refill. But, oh, getting grabbed there by a smoker, but nice job from the rest of the teammates to be able to clear that out. And then another charger coming in to play maybe some football. They didn't get the memo that this is flag football, where all you have to do is, like, pull the flag off. And instead, they're just going full in to try and, like, definitely give a big ol' hug to our friendly heroes here.
Yeah, the comments are clearly just relying on the strength in numbers strategy, which doesn't seem to be working out too well for them so far. They could probably do with some better coordination.
Indeed.
Especially those chargers. We see another one. They seem to just be running in all by themselves. No sense of teamwork.
Yeah.
And there we
indeed.
have a group of special infecteds, but just masterfully taking care of every single one of them.
Yeah,
And
great
we
job.
are going to be going for another refill.
Okay, nice. Doesn't look like there are any specials that are threatening them right now by pushing in. Okay, there they go. They're starting to come again, once again. And yeah, dipping in for some even more resources. Just nicely done. Well organized. Well done. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, nice. There was a jockey that ended up coming in, but very quick reactions from the rest of the teammates to be able to clear that out very quickly. And they're able to get back into their little bunker here just very fast. So well done. And once again, just very quickly, we're here raising money for NAMI. If you would like to contribute to an incredible charitable organization, all you have to do is type !donate in the Twitch chat here on Waifu's excellent Twitch channel. Because we have a lot of free content coming at you today, and we are not going to be done after this survival map. No, sure indeed. We have many double-digit hours of Left 4 Dead 2 content, because here what we're going to be doing today is we are taking a fresh file from the start of the event, and with the goal of closing out every single achievement. And in Left 4 Dead 2, there are indeed over 100 achievements to be activated. So we have many runners who are giving their time here today, as well as volunteers that are helping out. But ooh, wow, okay, we just saw Heeb end up getting knocked down there for a bit, but nicely done, able to recover as their teammates came in and saved the day. Okay, but now we are fast approaching the 8-minute mark with the goal of being able to close out that 10-minute mark in order to go. But oh my goodness, keep getting grabbed by a smoker, but nice clear out from their teammates as the flaming Shrek ends up coming through and plowing in. But that being said, if you want to see more cursed modded skins, as the Shrek was unlocked by crossing a $1,000 incentive, you could see even more cursed skins. If we are able to hit that $2,000 raised mark, we will end up replacing every single common infected for the rest of the event with a Teletubbies skin. Oh boy, that would be so bad, but so good. I need this in my life, Twitch chat. And wow, look at that! We just got a $102 anonymous donation that says, "Save the animals." Wait, wrong event. Thank you so much. And with that, we're just over $100, Skytus, from hitting that $2,000 mark.
Yes.
Can we get there, Twitch chat? Let's go. Let's go.
You might also have noticed that they have a nice pile of gas cans where they seem to very meticulously timed always take one more and then throw to their sort of entrance choke point. So this just allows them to always, I believe when there's a tank is when they try to use it, to immediately set that and any commons on fire. So they just give themselves some extra breathing room, because any common that is trying to run past there is just going to be burned alive. So, well, as alive as an infected might still be. So they are not going to be able to reach the survivors here. The tank will of course require quite a few extra shots, but that just blocks the passage for anything that is not a special infected or a tank.
All right, indeed, and well played from our runners. We are just merely 10 seconds away from being able to close out this mission. Just well done on this mission. I mean, that was so cool to see, like, the more difficult sort of like ammo drops. But here, this is indeed going to be intentionally getting knocked down here as after crossing that 10-minute, because all they have to do is be able to get to that gold standard of 10 minutes and then taking intentional death to be knocked down. And that being said, with this second map being done, we are going to break away from our incredible survival runners, and we instead are going to be switching gears and going back to try and get that Jumpman incentive to be showing up here on the cast itself. I am so excited to see this, Skytis. Can you tell us a little bit more about that once again?
Of course, of course. So Jumpman is a mutation that only does a very small tweak. It gives you a second jump. It doesn't sound like much, but when the entire game was not designed around having 2 jumps, it gives you suddenly a lot of options that you didn't think about before. So we are going to see some very unique routes here taken, as Loki is showing us how to play the Parish on the Jumpman mutation.
All right, great. And it looks like we are indeed underway. I am so excited to see this. Loki, of course, did an incredible job during the campaigns running through that with his friends on expert difficulty. And now we are going to see a treat. So with that double jump, right, it's incredible, right? Because all the levels, Skydus, they're all designed around only being able to do a single jump. And we still find creative ways of like getting to places where we're not supposed to be, getting over a fence that we're supposed to be required to walk around, going through additional buildings, right? But with just a double jump, right, we can just further extend our boundaries as people who like to go speedy. But wow, beautiful bunny jumping as well, to be able to go through, and double jumping to get on that roof. And we can see some of these textures just don't actually indeed exist. And then there are some textures that do exist with these like invisible like ceilings, because the game normally doesn't expect you to be able to get up that high. And very well done. Wow, that was so fast, Skydus.
Yeah, it's such a treat to see this campaign done on Jumpman, because if you play it through it normally, even in co-op, you just take a totally different route. It's like you're playing a different map, but somehow it's still the same map. You know what's going on, but at the same time you just don't. It just gives you a sort of different perspective on the entire map.
Yeah,
and something
indeed.
to note here is we still have to do our bunny hops manually. So since this game runs at a tick rate of 30, so 30 updates per second, we have to get our jump in a 1/30th of a second time window, manually timed, no scroll wheel or anything like that. And the problem here is, if you do it too early, you're just going to be jumping up again, since you have the double jump. If you do it too late, you're landing on the floor and you're going to be slowed down. So you really want to be sure that you hit your bunny hops here. And as you can see, Loki just masterfully hitting B-hop after B-hop, just breezing through this entire campaign so far.
Wow, very well done so far. So looks like they're setting up for a precise platform here, as they are going to be potentially moving on for another one of these jumps, but just clearing out some infected here in order to be able to progress.
Yeah, so standing up there is just, I think it's just the safest spot, and they're waiting for the door to open, which has now happened. Another added benefit of the double jump is you can jump from any height as long as there's just not a death trigger. Because right before you hit the ground, you can just do your second jump to reset your falling speed and you're good to go. So any drop that might normally be super scary can also now just be easily traversed.
Wow, that is incredible. And Loki is just doing such a great job working through this just so quickly. It's like amazing too, right? Because you have to like really conceptualize going through these levels in a different way, right? Like how can I utilize this tech and as much as I can to be able to save time, right? Going through as a speedrunner. And oftentimes it's not as clear as you think, because the game has things programmed in it, such as invisible walls that are a lot higher than you may initially think, and you can't actually get around. But like also just like daring, like, where can I stand? Where can I jump off? What is the shortest possible path to be able to get to the end? And oftentimes it's not as simple as you may think when you're like really going through a game that has a pretty linear path in a lot of the levels, as we see in a game like Left 4 Dead 2. So just very cool to see Loki be able to show off their craft, as well as the community contributions and routing as the like, and like how to break apart these levels with this really cool mutation.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen quite a few speedruns of this campaign so far in pretty much all the various popular categories, like solo, co-op on the various versions, but I don't think I've ever seen this route. I didn't even know you could walk in some of these places here. This is just...
It's so mesmerizing, right? It's so mesmerizing to just see.
it's crazy to see what you can do, like where the game allows you to actually move.
Yeah, a nice B-hop chain as well coming again out of Loki. Nice slope boost there. Landing on that slope does get us a little bit more horizontal speed. And using the double jump to sustain in the air for longer. And yeah, just shaking their mouth there because they accidentally just dropped the timing press on the input. But still, just a very impressive stuff. Loki is just really showing off their expertise in this game. And I love the use of like double jump to stay in the air for longer. Very clever.
And once again, we had a really good cemetery RNG. I believe that was once again the ideal layout. This we had some troubles at the beginning, but now Left 4 Dead 2 is really deciding to cooperate. We are just getting all the good RNG. Thank you for that, game. Really nice of you.
I feel like at first the game was like, oh, these people are trying to go fast in Left 4 Dead 2. We'll see. And then they were like, oh, wait, I just tuned into Waifu's stream and I saw he's doing this amazing thing, raising money for NAMI, as well as all of us here as volunteers and runners. So if you would like to help contribute to an amazing cause, just type that exclamation point, donate in the chat. And we are getting really close to that $2,000 mark, which is going to unlock the bonus incentive to replace the common infected with Teletubbies. So if you would like to see some cursed stuff as well as additional content throughout the rest of the event, keep those donations coming in.
And there we definitely have a route that I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
We've seen in co-op they try to get out of bounds by glitching, like doing this glitchy warp through a wall. But here, we just have to be very careful with where we go. On very small ledges, just trying to navigate this. I don't know what the exact clipping is, but yeah, there we can see. There's another one of those invisible clip brushes that he just walked on. And once again, we are at the end of this map. We are already on the finale of the Parish.
Incredible. Well played from Loki. That was just so cool. Nice thing too about that one is like, I mean, they fell down. They just had to retry it again, but it was getting close, right? The tank was coming up. A swarm of infected was starting to get closer and closer, right? Because as that tank comes in, so do like a wave of like more of those common infected like end up coming up as well. So if they had continued to struggle with it, they would have had a really tough time going for the trick again. So just well done from Loki, like at the very end of the mission to be able to close out a trick like that. Look at this. This is just so incredible. Yeah, this is clearly inbounds, right?
No, yeah. Don't you take this route normally?
This is so cool. Oh, thank you, Loki, for doing this. This is amazing. And thank you, everybody who donated to unlock this run. This is so good.
Yeah, I always take this route, of course. That's the normal route. Where else would you go? Yeah. Clearly there was a bridge we had to cross, so we crossed the obvious bridge.
Yeah.
Nothing weird to see here.
Yeah. It's like those virtual keyboards that they don't have like anything solid. It's just like a light that gets projected onto your desk, right? It's like same thing. It's like it's a projected bridge, right? It's just light that you can't see and you can stand on.
We just took a play out of the Portal 2 playbook and just had some hard light surfaces that were just invisible. Nothing unusual to see here.
Yeah, totally. This is how my experience in video games usually goes. Wow, look at this bunny hop chain though.
I was just about to say, that's insane. Every single one of them, remember, 1/30th of a second. Just managing to do that with the added pressure of trying to go fast. That's incredible.
Look at that. Look at that tight jump. Oh, wow. Okay, just barely drops it there, but it has to fall down anyway and continue on. And here we go again. Man, Loki is just so good at getting these going. It's just so impressive to see. And there it is. Loki entering the helicopter. GG.
Just kidding. He didn't enter the helicopter.
Yeah.
I don't know what the exact reason is, but yeah, that's some kind of glitch in the game. He was just left behind. I mean, let's be honest. He will be fine. He can just outrun and outjump any of the infected. So, did he really need the rescue in the first place?
Yeah, right. Indeed. And that being said, folks, we're not done. That was just our Jumpman incentive run by Loki on the Parish. Can we get a round of applause for Loki in the chat? Thank you so much, Loki, for doing that. That was so impressive.